Hello.
Hello. How's everybody doing? I'm the Uncanny Omar. You're watching Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And today I have assembled a panel of some new faces here. And, well, some of these people have been on the show before, so not really 100% new faces, but I did want to talk to some new people to see what is hot out there in the world of comics and what people are reading and what they're liking, what they're not enjoying. So I'm going to let my panelists introduce themselves one by one. Starting to my right is Tessa. Who are you, young lady? What do you do?
First off, I love that you have us assembled like a team. It's a very cool way to say it. I feel like we can go into battle.
I asked through Messenger. So it's not as cool as actually showing up at your houses and assembling a team, but also not as stockish. So yes, what do you do, Tessa?
My name is Tessa. Online, I post under Tessa as a Nerd, and I am a retailer, Cloud City Games in Pennsylvania. We have 3 locations. Going to open a 4th soon, hopefully. Fingers crossed, But yeah, I just talk about books and I touch books, and that's all I do.
Excellent. And to her right, making his return, is Cody Collects. What's up, brother?
What's up, guys? Omar, thanks for having me on, dude. By day, I guess I do cybersecurity, but then at night, talk about comics on YouTube. And yeah, we just hit 3,500 subs, dude. So yeah, on our way to 10K. Yeah. Thanks, James. Appreciate it.
Do you tell people you do cybersecurity so nobody like leaves negative comments on your videos?
Yeah, because I can hack them. Right.
You can find them,
it's
right?
Like exactly.
Okay. And right underneath me, making her return, is Linz. How are you, Linz?
Hi, I'm good. So I have been on the channel before, I think like twice. But I go by Lean Soapbox on social media. I post about comics, I post about figure collecting and the MCU, basically all things Marvel.
Any DC in there? Just Marvel?
No, not DC. Just Marvel.
Okay.
Not DC yet.
Yet. Okay, I like that. And making her first appearance here, but we've been talking for a long time. Batmantha, how are you?
Some would say I've waited my whole life for this. Hi, I'm Samantha or Batmantha on TikTok. I collect and read comic books. I collect these little plastic guys here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you, James.
And you're primarily on TikTok, right?
For comic book stuff, yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Comic book stuff on TikTok, and then like travel content creation, completely different to this world.
Yeah, you do a lot of traveling. Traveling. I love that. And last but not least, making his first appearance here is Drew. How are you, dude?
I am well. Thanks for having me. I'm excited. I'm a teacher and I teach stuff.
God bless you.
I always feel weird when people are like, oh, it's cool that you're a teacher, or like I'm just like, I don't know. But yeah, relevant to this world, I post on TikTok usually about comic books, trying to talk about them like academically, which is something that I do for a job. I also I like to kind of really analyze them from a specific lens, usually some kind of like socio-political lens, stuff like that. I also write comics semi-professionally. I got paid to do it once. Maybe they'll pay me again. But so yeah, that's it. That's what I do. And I'm sorry that I'm like stammering through this. My brain is mush. I just had a really long day of freshmen. So I'm like,
my wife is a teacher. She's been teaching for 15 years now, 16 almost. She took a little bit of a break, and this was her fall break. It was this early, and the first day she slept, and the second day she did some work, and the third day she did more schoolwork. And I think today was the first day that she actually did a little bit of schoolwork and then took a nap. So I feel you, man. You guys do a lot for teaching, especially if you happen to be a teacher that cares. That's when you do a lot of work.
That's why I don't have a lot of work to do.
You just put kids down in front of comic books and let them do their thing.
I have one girl this year who loves Batman, and she doesn't like know where to get comics and stuff like that. So every morning after the new issue of Batman comes out, so like this morning I gave her the new Batman, and she took it and she read it. She read that and Absolute Evil throughout the day, and then she brought them back to me. And so that's just kind of like our little agreement that we have every month or so. I just drop something off with her and she reads it and brings it back.
My wife is a firm believer in, so she teaches English and film studies, and
that's what I teach. Yeah,
for real. That's awesome, dude.
Both of those and a graphic novel course.
She would be so jealous of that, because that's something she's been trying. She taught a comic book course like 2 years, but then the school pulled that out of the curriculum, which sucks. But it's she's a firm believer that kids should be reading anything, so she keeps magazines and comic books in there. Because I know when I was growing up, it was almost a sin to like read comic books in classrooms. Like no classrooms had comic books. I can't remember a single teacher that ever admitted to liking comic books or reading comic books or pushing comic books on you. Everything was just like by the curriculum, and you had to follow certain guidelines. But I think it's really cool that teachers nowadays have like comic books in the classroom. I think it's amazing. Whatever gets kids reading, honestly.
Yeah, agreed.
And let's go round table. Let's talk about what you all have been reading lately, what you've been enjoying. Tessa, what's a book? You got some fans out there, Tessa?
Hi, Mars. I went to follow Mars for some good comic book content. She's good.
Tell me what you've been reading lately. What have you been enjoying?
Just this morning, I'm dog sitting right now, so usually I would have a cool display behind me. So if we could just imagine some Silver Age behind me, I'd appreciate it.
Silver Age. Ooh.
Yeah, it's my jam. Yeah, usually I like to pull up my X-Men 1 for live shows, so it looks cool behind me.
Adjectiveless X-Men 1, like from 1990, best-selling comic book of all time, or are you talking 1960?
Technically, it is actually adjectiveless because that is actually brought on after issue 142. So it is the X-Men until it becomes the Uncanny X-Men during Days of Future Past. So
what we called it back in the day, adjectiveless X-Men, baby. All right, what do you got?
Today, I actually just read this finally. I know I'm way, way late to the party, but Michael Washley's Frankenstein is gorgeous, but specifically the colorist I was not familiar with, Toni Marie Griffin. Her palette on this is stunning. Like, these very like monotone kind of things she has going on is just stunning. This book is gorgeous. I'm not surprised because I love Michael Walsh. I fell in love with him with Sleep Stories forever ago, but everything he does is pretty phenomenal. I've also just started Justice League International, like the DeMatteis stuff, like from forever ago. I know also old stuff, which is gorgeous, and I'm keeping up with pretty much everything DC. So, and then I'm like, I know I'm somewhat caught up on like Indie and Marvel, but DC, I'm almost up to date on like everything.
That's a lot. That's a big task. I don't think I can. Oh my God, I can't imagine.
Oh yeah, I have like this. I'll show you. I keep track of every like ongoing title, and I'll like put a check mark next to it if I'm caught up, and I put the last issue that I read on it.
Wow, Tessa is a nerd. That's
wow.
not just
How
a
dare
witty
you.
name. That's not just a. That was a compliment, by the way. That's a task. I did the same thing in my 20s with Marvel. Whenever they started doing the CD-ROM collections, back in the day when you had to insert CD-ROMs into your computer, if anybody remembers that. But they had collections of like Fantastic Four, Amazing Spider-Man, and X-Men, and I had a bunch of like just trade paperbacks and single issues from back in the day, and I thought, okay, I think I can read through the entire Marvel universe in a chronological order, and that was a task because you get like into some series that are just not up to par with what like Steve Ditko and Stan Lee were doing in Spider-Man or Doctor Strange, and you're just like, oh God, somebody kill me. I can't read any more Silver Age. So it's a task. It's not easy. It's not for everybody, but man, I give you props for that. That's awesome.
I'm collecting every issue of X-Men right now, so I've almost every issue from 1 to 100. So I'm just going to read my physical copies and make nerds twitch while I open my old paper. But that's what I want to do. I want to just read everything from the beginning.
You know they make collected editions, right? Like you could easily.
I like my old paper. I like it toned. I like getting to see the art how it was originally meant to be seen. I like touching it. I like smelling it, and I love making nerds cringe. I love freaking out dudes.
You love freaking out dudes. Okay. Well,
I
that's the
used
way
to
you
take
do it.
pictures of my like key issues on Instagram, and I would put like my coffee near them, and everyone would lose their mind. They'd be like, "Don't do that; it's gonna spill on your book." It's fine.
I drink and read, and
All the time.
like I'm a firm believer in reading. You know, these books are meant to be read, especially
Yeah.
like there are collected editions that are very limited, and people get on. People used to get on me about like, why are you reading that book? There's another version that's a soft cover, and I'm like, these books are meant to be read. I mean, they're nice on the shelf, but that's what they're for. So I can't give you crap for reading single issues. Good for you. Cody, what about you, dude? What are you reading lately?
Well, first thing I got to shout out to Universal Monsters Frankenstein. That's probably my favorite Universal Monsters series so far. That's got to be my favorite one. Michael Walsh just killed that. So yeah, that's a good shout. Anybody check out Everything Dead and Dying? This is a good Omar coming up for
I
when
loved
this comes
it.
out in a trade. You got to be picking.
Yeah, I was
this
gonna
one
say
up.
I gotta wait till trade. Who's the
I
publisher?
know, right? Batmantha said this one's pretty good.
Tate
It's
Bromwell's great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Jacob Phillips on the art, and it's Tate
Oh.
Bromwell writing it. It's kind of like a zombie western sort of series so far. Only issue 1's out, but yeah, this like blew me away. That's like my favorite thing from last month when it came out.
Who's
So
the
yeah,
publisher on that one? Is that Image?
Image Comics, they're on a roll. Yep.
By the way, this isn't a show and tell. I'm sorry.
I got it all. I got it all right here.
Okay, you got it. Okay.
Yep.
Just in case. Well, you know, Tessa says she's dog sitting. I didn't expect her to haul her Silver Age X-Men with her. What is this?
Escape. Rick Remender, Daniel Acuna.
Oh God, you had me at Remender Acuna.
It's a war comic, but that's not a human there. That's a bear, dude. So they're anthropomorphic. It's like a Saving Private Ryan, but you turn Tom Hanks into a bear. That's the series you'd get with this. Pretty good so far.
That's awesome. Yep. Okay.
I also read Sex Criminals.
Oh, my wife loves that book.
One of the most craziest reads I've ever had. Matt Fraction, Chip Zdarsky. I'm trying to read more Matt Fraction stuff as he's taking over the Batman title. So that was one of my goals last month. This series is just insane. Crazy stuff with this one. And then I want to talk about Incognito. Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips.
Have you finished it?
Finished it, dude. No one talks about this.
I know. We need that. We need a follow-up. We need more of Incognito. It just stops.
Such an insanely cool world. And yeah, it just like stops. It feels like there could be so much more that they're kind of building to. But what we got is really good. This is probably my favorite Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips story. Actually.
Really?
No, I really like Fatal. That's tough. That's really tough to rank.
They're really good though. It's hard to choose.
Yep. But Incognito blew me away. I found this at my comic book shop. It's not in the best condition, but nice hardcover.
It's out of print.
So, yeah.
So good on you. That's one that for some reason Image hasn't reprinted yet. It's still that Marvel icon. So
icon. Yep.
Yeah. They did. They did the first 2 volumes of Criminal before he shipped over to Image. So it's pretty cool that you still have that.
Yeah, that was a nice find at the comic shop. Yeah. And the last thing that I want to talk about.
What do you got?
I read Descender.
Oh, yeah. For the first time?
First read. This is Deluxe Edition 2. I read this last month, and then the month prior, I read Deluxe Edition 1. So good. I got to read Ascender next up, but Jeff Lemire, Dustin Wynn, who we met in Chicago. Omar, you remember that?
Dustin's a good dude. I like Dustin a lot.
Yeah, Descender just blew me away. And yeah, I got to read Ascender now. If anybody's sleeping on this series, it's like when I think about Image Comics, like Mount Rushmore, I might put Descender on there. I think it's so good. So, yeah.
Oh, I like this. Somebody asked me, we do Evergreen streams every month, and somebody asked me to do like a Mount Rushmore of Image, DC Comics, and I was like, Image Comics would be so different. Like if you had asked like teenage Omar compared to like Omar in his 40s, like what Image titles he would put on a Mount Rushmore. It's so different.
Everybody would have different answers, I'm assuming, right? So yeah, that's actually a good idea. Yeah.
It's a good one. Was that it, man? Is that all you've been reading?
That's pretty much it. Yeah, that was my TBR for last month. So yeah. Yep.
All right, Linz, what do you got? Like I said, this is not necessarily a show and tell unless you got it with you. But
I don't have any. All of mine are digital either way. So
okay, that's okay. What have you been reading?
Okay, so I have been reading a bunch of Marvel comics, like Silver Age stuff.
Oh my
because in
God.
August, after like the Spider-Man 4 set photos release, I was like, you know, I want to read some Amazing Spider-Man. And so I started reading that. And then I unboxed this like Hulk figure. And then after that, I was like, well, now I want to read some Incredible Hulk. I typically don't like read comics from like the OG 6 Avengers from like the MCU because, you know, we have enough of them in the MCU. So I'm like, okay, like I'll focus on other characters. But this time around, I was like, no, like I suddenly want to read Hulk stuff. So I started reading Hulk stuff. And then I was also reading some Fantastic Four stuff. So I was like, you know what, all of this is like Silver Age. What if like I look for like a reading order? And that's exactly what I did. And just like Tessa, I have my little list.
What? Look,
but
show me that list. Show me that list. What do you have on that list out of curiosity?
You would see. Okay, so it has Fantastic Four, Tales to Astonish.
I love that you also use the dots that you can fill in. That's what I do too.
Journey into Mystery, Strange Tales.
Oh my God. You're reading this digitally?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But it's not too bad, okay? And by the way, I didn't make the list. I tried to look for it online and couldn't really find it. And there's this random YouTube video that like they made a whole slideshow and they in the description they put the list, so I copy and pasted it into my notes.
Do you remember who did the YouTube video?
I don't remember who made the YouTube video, but if you look for it, like it'll probably be the first one that pops up.
I was gonna say it wasn't Omar's reading order or what?
No, I'm not that detailed. That would be more like my buddy Crisis. He loves like detailed reading orders, jumping from issue to issue. I'm more of like it has to be collected in some kind of collection, and then you can jump into another omnibus or another epic collection. I like reading by story arc, not reading by issue by issue. Like if Captain America makes an appearance in Tales to Astonish, I'm like, no, I kind of want to stick to finishing this story. But that's really cool. You're going through the Silver Age. God,
see, that's what I was conflicted about. I was like, I don't know if I should be reading, like, for example, a whole epic collection of Fantastic Four or just issue by issue. But I decided to do issue by issue.
Issue by issue is madness. You and Tessa. Wow, I got to give people props for that. I try to do that with X-Men, and it used to be like an annual thing. I would reread all my X-Men, including like New Mutants and Excalibur and Wolverine. But the problem was that there were so many crossovers so often that you would have to stop reading whatever monthly adventure Wolverine was on so you can see what the heck is going on in Extinction Agenda and finish out that story arc. But I mean, those issues were coming out when I was a kid and I was reading them that way. So I don't know. That whole experience of reading them issue by issue, that's fun up until you get to a certain point where Marvel and DC are like, okay, crossover time. And then you're like, oh man, do I go with the crossover or do I go issue by issue still? Decisions.
So far, it's okay. Also, something that I didn't realize is that like Tales to Astonish, like it's broken down into stories. Wait, right? I think it's Tales to Astonish. I think it's several of them. It's like stories. So it's only like 15 issues of like, for example, Ant-Man. Yeah. And then, you know, and I think Journey into Mystery, I think those have always been 15 issues so far. So
15, the page count, they're split them up into like it used to be like a sci-fi horror and mystery comic, like in a way like Amazing Fantasy was, right? And then when the superhero age started with the Fantastic Four, they started shifting over to superheroes. It is really cool to see that Marvel released these things that not a lot of people love. But I appreciated the passion behind them. There were these omnis called 1961, 1962, 63, and 64. And I think they did a 65. Pretty much it's like, of course, the Fantastic Four first appeared in 1961. So what they did is put every single issue that they published that month that Fantastic Four came out and put it into an omnibus. And you got to read it like, I don't even know they did. They put them in publishing order. Because back then in the Silver Age, they would draw so many issues and stories way, way ahead of time that sometimes you wouldn't even see them until years later when they needed like a backup story because they were running behind. And I think you would probably like those. Like the month that Fantastic Four came out, they released an omnibus of all the issues of Tales to Astonish. And a lot of like, what's her name? Patsy Walker and Millie the Model and things that no longer exist that they put together into an omnibus format. It's really cool.
Wait, Omar, since you're the expert on collected editions, do the
Go
epic
on.
collections do the epic collections have, like, for example, if it's an Ant-Man epic collection, does it have all the extra stories in like
No.
Tales to
You-
No, okay.
It just so it like the Tales to Astonish will just focus on Ant-Man and you know, you had Namor, and who else was it? It was Nick Fury and Doctor Strange. They were both sharing the Strange Tales comic, right? So the Nick Fury epic collection would just collect the Nick Fury parts, and the Doctor Strange Tales would be collected in the Doctor Strange epic and the Omnis as well. But it's really cool that you're doing it that way.
Mhm.
Really
I
cool.
wanted to buy the epic collection, but I was like, I don't know if it includes the rest, because for the issues, I'm only reading like the Ant-Man stuff and the Thor stuff or whatever the character.
You should totally get the epic collections. I think you would enjoy them. Like, I mean, it is one cheaper way to owning these Silver Age single, unless you're crazy like Tessa and just want to own the physical Silver Age and read them while you're drinking coffee. But I'm not here to judge. So really cool. We got two people reading Silver Age stuff. Cody, where are
I'm
we
not
at?
here to judge, he says in the most judgmental tone I've ever heard anyone use.
Don't read too much to into my tone. I'm Latino. It's the way we always talk. See, I sound sarcastic. My wife has a hard time knowing when I'm being sarcastic and knowing when I'm being serious. Maybe I do it on purpose. Batmantha, what are you reading?
Well, like Tessa and Linz, I also love the Silver Age.
What's happening?
For the past few months, I've been reading a lot of Fantastic Four. Last month, I finished the Silver Surfer omnibus.
Like the Buscema stuff from the original 18-issue run? Oh,
yes. And so I've read all of Lee and Kirby's Fantastic Four. I finished that run in September. That was great. That was so good. I just finished this morning. I just finished reading the Uncanny X-Men Omnibus Volume 3. I can't get it.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah, it's so good. I can't show and tell. I snapped my calf muscle this morning as well, like half an hour ago. So I can't like reach and grab things. Yeah, long story. I also finished this right before the stream started. That's really good. That's the new Batman issue 2 by
Haven't had a chance yet. Is it good?
It's so good.
Nice.
Okay, I have a question for you and Drew, who obviously have read it because he let a student borrow it. What Robin is that, or is it a secret? Is that? It looks like Tim Drake.
Tim Drake.
That's Tim.
Yep.
The greatest Robin ever.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
Damien is in this one as well.
Ooh, some Robin drama. Okay.
I don't think that's a spoiler. It's just
okay. I didn't know if that was like a hush hush secret, but
no, Hush is a different guy. That's not Robin.
Yeah, Hush 2 is a different series, Omar. That one's delayed, dude. That one's wicked delayed.
I was not talking about Hush 2. I was talking about Tim Drake. I never know when they're gonna use my boy because everybody loves Damien and everybody forgets about Tim Drake. Greatest Robin ever. Even a better detective than Batman. I said what I said. What else have you read, Batmantha?
So after the last episode of Peacemaker, I've been reading a lot of the Earth X stuff. So the Justice League of America issues 107, 108. That's the first time you see Earth X. Those were really good issues, by the way. Really good issues. And then I was reading, the stuff in Multiversity that touched on Earth X. Freedom Fighters by Robert Venditti. That was really good.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of stuff, really.
I forgot Peacemaker comes on today. Right? Thursday? Oh, yeah.
Yes. I can't wait for it.
We should just leave the stream going and we can all just watch it.
Yeah, just screen share it, Omar. We'll
have a commentary.
I'm sure YouTube will not pull that down and give me a copyright strike at all. They're pretty level-headed over there. I love the fact that you're mixing in single issues with collected editions and omnis and epics and
I'm not really a single issue reader. It's just because this is what I prefer, right? I prefer omnis, and then in the last few months I've gotten really into epics just because I've managed to get so many for so cheap here in New Zealand. Because these books here are not cheap.
No, they're not.
It's not easy to be a collector here in New Zealand. But yeah, just lately I've been wanting to know like I've been wanting to know what's going on, and yeah, so single issues.
Did
Yeah.
you
I've
read
gone to the dark side.
were you caught up with the previous run, like when Chip Zdarsky was on?
I haven't read. I've only read up to. I finished the Tom King run last month, which I loved. I know a lot of people hate it.
I love it.
I love
love
it.
it with my
But
whole
the-
heart.
I loved it.
It's crazy
one-
how divided people are with that run, because it legit is one of the best-selling comic books of all time, and it was voted by miles as the most wanted DC omnibus. Like, most of the time, whenever I take these polls and I share them with the publishers, like for Marvel, like it's just like number one always wins by a few hundred. Like DC's poll with Tom King as number one won by over 1,000 something votes. It was ridiculous. So
Yeah.
despite of how
Well,
people online feel about Tom King's Batman, like
Speaking as
there's
a
lot
retailer,
that
it
love
sells very well. All collected editions of it. The new compendium sells so well. Like, it sells so well.
I have so many thoughts about this, and I feel like all of them will get me in trouble with the internet.
Mm. You love being in trouble with the internet.
I don't. I made a video recently. I'm sorry that I'm like encroaching on you talking.
No,
about
no,
this stuff,
go
but
for
I
it.
made a video recently that was just me talking about a single panel from Tom King's Wonder Woman and why I thought it was really good. And you would think that I threatened the livelihood of every single person's dog. Like,
That's another run that people either love or hate. I've heard a lot of stuff about Tom King's Wonder Woman.
it is the internet's response to Tom King is bonkers.
That's not how it is in real life.
I think
Well,
sometimes
I thought his Batman is one of my all-time favorite Batman runs.
I think that
I've
it is
read quite
great.
a lot of Batman.
I think his Batman is genuinely great. And I mean, like I said, I have a lot of thoughts. They delve into like conspiracy level moments where I'm just like, don't get me started.
The double date issue.
So good.
oh yeah, that's one of the
Whole
best
Days
Batman
with
issues.
Lee Weeks. Oh, swoon. Batman Annual 2 is one of my favorite single issues of all time.
Yeah, it's really good. It brought the manly eye sweat in me, so it was really moving. I
Oh,
think
but we all know you hate it, so it's fine.
I said it was ups and downs. I like some of the things that Tom King did in Batman, and other things I'm like, all right, man, you do you. That's cool. But honestly, I feel the same way about some of the bigger runs in books, like JLA by Grant Morrison and New X-Men by Grant Morrison. There were things that they did on those runs that I'm like, oh my God, this is some of the best X-Men Justice League I've ever read. And there were times they were doing some weird stuff that I'm like, this is some of the worst X-Men I've ever read. What the hell is going
prefer
on?
that though. Like, I'd rather art be interesting than boring. I don't want it to be safe. I want you to try things.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I think, and that's what they were doing, right? Like, absolutely
Yeah.
what they were doing. They knew what they were doing whenever they got Grant Morrison to write JLA and write New X-Men. Some people were not going to like it. Old school fans, probably not. But it was about bringing in new readers, and it did. And I mean, the same thing happened with after that with Astonishing X-Men with Joss Whedon writing that story too. I want to come back to you to talk about X-Men, because that's my favorite X-Men omnibus. Every one of my favorite stories. Yes. So I want to come back to talk to you about that. But first, Drew, you're a busy guy.
I'm a busy guy.
And you still managed to find time to read. What have you been reading, brother?
I sometimes read. Sometimes I just buy them. What have I been reading? So I'm like, I feel like my experience is going to be very different from everybody else's, because I haven't really been reading any collected editions for a while. I really would like to, and I have just like a giant pile of them. But for the most part, I've just been doing my best to keep up with new stuff, single issues. So, I mean, I'm reading all of the Absolute stuff from DC. If I had to start like naming titles, Absolute Wonder Woman, I think, is consistently the best. I think Absolute Martian Manhunter is just like, there's so much praise being thrown at that book, and I think it deserves all of it. when I'm talking about that book with people, I just tell them it gives me the same feeling that I got when I first read Alan Moore's Swamp Thing. Like it does not feel like that book, but at the same time, there is something that's like, it just demands like, hey, this is different, and you have to pay attention to it. And yeah, I mean, I've been really excited about that book. I'm reading Zdarsky's Captain America, 3 issues in, but I think it's like already for me, that's like an all-timer Captain America run. I'm reading Batman. I'm reading Beneath the Trees, Where Nobody Sees, the Rites of Spring mini. I'm reading Batman Dark Patterns. I'm reading The Seasons. I'm reading a lot. Like I try to keep a pretty healthy balance of like big 2 stuff and indie stuff. And so, I mean, yeah, I'm just rattling off stuff that's currently on my pull list. Green Arrow is awesome.
Canceled it, dude. Can we talk about that for a second,
and I
dude?
knew it was going to happen too, because it's just Green Arrow can't keep a title going for whatever reason.
I didn't know that was official news yet.
Yeah, it is.
Bullshit, man. And Birds of Prey, but
I don't know if it's oh, that's upsetting. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Birds
I
of
don't
Prey
know
got
if
canceled?
public news yet, but Chris Condon is going straight with Marvel. Just Marvel is going exclusive.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe
Daredevil needs a new writer.
I'm sorry?
Daredevil needs a new writer.
They do.
Yeah, he was saying that like he's a buddy of mine, but he was just really upset that like Green Arrow's getting canceled. His like he's thinking it's because it's going to be too similar to Absolute Green Arrow, but that seems ridiculous if that is the route they go. But yeah, he's just like,
who's doing Absolute Green Arrow?
A porn sack, I believe, right?
Oh, I love Peach.
Oh, I really like his stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
I believe that's the writer for. And also they're doing.
I didn't know that was announced.
There's a. Yeah, I think it is announced, but I think they just showed preview pages. Probably more news at New York Comic Con.
Okay.
They're also doing a Green Arrow, Batman Question Black Label series.
Yeah, which I'm very excited about.
Which sounds cool, but if that's the trade, this Absolute Green Arrow and this crossover series for this current Chris Condon written Green Arrow, I wouldn't take that trade. I mean, that's like the worst trade ever.
I mean, I literally just think that it's just sales.
Yeah,
it is for sure, pretty well for Green Arrow, actually. And like that's what Chris was saying too. Like in general, sales are pretty good and like stores are happy with them and it's pretty well acclaimed and just
won some awards. I forgot which award.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm pretty excited for that second issue of I'm pretty excited for a second issue of that Red Hood book. So when that comes out, I'll be very excited to read.
I was in Europe when all of that was going on. And wow, they canceled a comic.
What? They canceled it? This is the first I'm hearing of it.
Is this now? This is something that was, and I think it's a single issue, so I didn't really dive too deep. But it had been released, right? And then they pulled it.
It was released, and then they pulled it literally the day of. They sent the Tessa. You probably got a message or an email or a mail or whatever.
Yeah.
So retailers got a message about destroying the book or sending it back.
They were like, they also said that they would give us back the cost of any books, including ones that were just already sold, and we wouldn't get back, which is crazy.
I can imagine so many people not returning those books, and then a year from now appearing at comic book shows.
I mean, the book is already like what, 70 books online for cover A.
You got it, Samantha.
I have one.
I was like, this is stupid. All of my customers.
New Zealand did not get the news that the book was canceled. Apparently, you're supposed to destroy
that. We get our books like a day before you guys because Wednesday.
Oh, that's right.
Wednesdays.
No, I just thought it was stupid. I left them out. I didn't upcharge. I just let everyone get it for cover price.
Yeah.
Dumb.
Yeah, I got one. I mean, I thought that first issue was fine. It was another thing the internet.
I didn't think it was. I didn't think it was as bad as what people would.
It was nowhere near as bad as people. I mean.
I wonder if it'll be collected anywhere in a Red Hood collection 10 years from now when everything is forgotten.
Yeah,
that's actually why I bought it though, because like I bought it digitally, and I read it like the day, like Wednesday morning, and then it got cancelled Wednesday night, I think, or Thursday
Wow, that was
night my
quick.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then a week later, I emailed my comic shop and I was like, "Do you guys have any more like physical copies of Red Hood?" So I went and grabbed one. So I bought it twice, like an idiot.
It's worth so much more. You're fine.
Yeah, that does. You know, it's weird to see comic books being canceled like that, unless there's like some kind of misprint. That I know they've done in the past where they tell you to destroy copies of it. They do it with collected editions, but have they done that? It's been a while since I've seen a comic book canceled and pulled off the racks and told.
It's been a hot minute. I was gonna say I don't think I remember it happening since like COVID times in my memory.
Yeah, and it's usually because of some kind of misprint. There was a whole thing with that. What was it? Wolverine issue 133, where it was.
You're talking about the slur one?
Yeah, it had a derogatory term.
Yeah.
And they immediately pulled it. And
I have a copy of each of those. I just got in a collection. I love that one because I always like open it up to look, and it's like, oh, all right, that one has it. Okay.
I think it's 133, and somebody told me once that they were like, "Man, you should do like a collection of all the racist terms that were slipped through editorial, because you know it off the top of your head." And I'm like, not on purpose, just because I know as a Wolverine collector.
You should do a video where you just say every slur. Actually.
Yeah, that's a YouTube will love that, Omar. Jeez.
Oh yeah, you guys are trying to get me canceled, just like Red Hood.
Just like that comic, yeah.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. Okay, this is a super chat. This is an interesting question. Does the panel read Golden Age? Why and why not?
Right now, I am reading a bunch of Golden Age Batman and Superman. And Superman holds up. They're honestly both pretty fun.
I was gonna say, out of any Golden Age I've read, Superman's the only stuff that's like held up, actually. So
yeah. Especially if you have like DC Infinite, like it's only the like Superman story from each one, so it's only a few pages.
Right. Yeah. I like the DC Finest, the Superman one they released. I enjoyed reading through that a couple months ago.
Liz,
I'm gonna get that DC Finest Batman, the first
Golden
one.
Age.
Yeah. Well, I've got those old
Wait, you guys are digging the Golden Age Batman and
Superman. No, I didn't say Batman.
Those are some rough reads.
I just said I'm gonna get the DC Finest one when it comes out.
Okay.
The Batman one.
Maybe
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was gonna say maybe controversial. I don't care about the Golden Age. Just don't.
That's fair. That's not controversial at all. That's the usual take I hear.
Like, I like it. Obviously, like, there's like the history of it I can appreciate. The early characterization and stuff like that I can appreciate. But yeah, I just myself, I think that right around the 80s is when things started to just kind of cater to my tastes. And so I kind of just hover around there if I'm going to older stuff.
Like some of the like EC horror stuff is like kind of holds up pretty well, and that's pretty fun. He just mentioned Golden Age Wonder Woman. I have a few copies of Sensation comics from the Golden Age. Those are like some of the only golden stuff I have, but a lot of golden stuff is long and dry.
Linz, have you dove any into the Marvel Golden Age? Because most of, the Fantastic Four what kicked off Marvel, like the Marvel Age, like that Silver Age side of things. But have you dove back to like Captain America or some of those?
Atlas, some Timely?
Yeah. Like, have you done any of that?
Okay, so I do remember opening up Marvel Comics #1. Captain America, I'm pretty sure I've read. Maybe I don't think I've read the whole issue, but Captain America #1. Probably I've opened up. That's about it. But I don't think I've actually finished a whole issue.
I haven't done any Marvel or Marvel-esque Golden Age stuff, so you're braver than I.
They're very similar to DC, right? Where like Captain America issue #1 is him punching Hitler. It was kind of like their way of like, hey, we're at war and this is our enemy. Namor was the same way. So there was a lot of like racist stereotypes when it came to people from Japan and whoever the enemy was at the time, right? So I think that was their answer to a lot of things. DC was doing the exact same thing. And then it kind of got weird at Marvel where there were no superheroes. And we got like what Tessa said, we got through the Atlas and the Timely era where it started focusing more on like Western,
Westerns, yeah.
Millie the Model, love
Tessie the
story,
Typist? Was that
comic
Marvel?
for girls,
Yeah.
a lot of horror comics too, because everybody wanted to cash in on the EC horror, even though the comics code killed them. I mean, there's a whole wonderful history about all this stuff, and how superheroes were kind of like the answer to everything at Marvel. They're like they weren't really winning much, and then the Fantastic Four came, and man, the rest was history. Batmantha, Golden Age. Yeah, you're into Batman and Superman.
Mostly Batman, but like despite the name Batmantha, so that's just the name Jess gave me one day.
Okay.
Omnidog.
He loves giving people names.
Yeah, I don't know, and it's just sort of stuck. But I'm more of a Marvel person.
Oh,
Like Daredevil and Spider-Man are my thing. Daredevil especially.
Man, am I the only DC person?
I don't know how
I was
got
gonna
stuck with
say
the
I'm a
Batman thing.
DC. If I had to choose, like gun to the head, DC all
gun
the
to
way.
the head. Where are you
If it's
hanging
serious,
out, dude?
this is serious.
Crime
all
Alley.
Hanging out with me.
This is-
That's what we established.
guys
I'm a
have
bad
some
we're doing in
idiot.
weird
Chicago.
TikTok streams.
I'm the one with
Well,
the
when I'm
gun.
scrolling on TikTok, right, and I'm seeing everyone doing their new comic book days or whatever,
Yeah,
it's all full of DC. It feels like no
DC's
one's
got
reading
a
right
Marvel.
now.
hotness right now.
it's
DC is so
but-
good.
It's
but
where
there's
that
still-
energy is.
But there are still good stuff coming out from Marvel.
Sure. Yeah, it's just like 80% of DC is good, and then like the less than 20% of Marvel, I feel like, is like,
Yeah, if it's
Like,
not
oh,
written
wait,
by
there's sometimes
Hickman,
Marvel
if
is
it's not
better.
written by
Rain Dark Knight
McKay,
is better.
But I still feel like there's still some good stuff at Marvel that a lot of people aren't even giving a chance.
Hulk, I think, is
Like-
really cool. People don't read that enough.
I think it's
Yeah.
that pendulum of comic geekdom, right? Sometimes the pendulum swings towards Marvel. Marvel had a big like couple decades, and then people lost faith in DC and what they were doing over there, especially towards the end of the Dan Didio era. And then the pendulum's starting to swing back to DC because that's where a lot of the energy is. That's where a lot of the creators are going. That's where there's, they're doing the whole absolute line, and every single one of those has just been really hot. And of course, retailers are loving them too. I mean, look at Batman, what, 500,000 copies? That's insane. Those are numbers I haven't seen in forever. I don't care if it's polybags or variant covers. Those are numbers that I haven't seen in a long time for single issues in American comics. And that's wonderful. Like, I love for X-Men a relaunch like that. Polybags, that's the key. Next X-Men relaunch, polybags.
Please
Yes.
no more polybags.
I
From a
genuinely
realtor
wonder.
perspective, how are you guys liking the polybags? You guys are probably liking them, or because it's
I like how they're selling.
They don't make omnis in polybags, so I ain't got no dog
Did
in
you
this
see
fight.
that one of the Batman foils from the blind bag has a typo on the back where the issue is spelled wrong? I think it's the Tedesco cover. It might be Campbell. But like the back title says like issue 1 or something, like the typo on issue. It's only one of the covers.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it's cute.
I wonder,
Polybags, Drew? Yes.
I mean, I don't care. I'm such like, I'm a reader first and foremost, so I'm just not like this these days. If it's like collecting purposes only, I'm looking at like weird niche stuff. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about variant covers or anything like that. I don't care about the poly bags. It would have been nice to have one, but I wasn't like, I didn't tell my my comic shop like, hey, make sure I get one of these. It's just kind of like, if you have extras.
They're fun to
But-
open, but then afterwards I'm kind of like, okay.
No, that was literally my experience. Like you
Yeah.
open it, it's like, oh wow, that was $10 or whatever much it was.
They're like, sick. All right, does anyone want this book?
Did you make a video at least, Cody? Opening
I
up
did. The
book?
video
Alright,
did pretty
worth it.
well, Omar.
Worth
That's
every
right. You're
penny,
right.
brother.
Yeah,
My
that's true.
brother is big into trading cards, Pokemon, and Magic, whatever it is. He doesn't even play the damn things. He just
Mhm.
loves opening packages since we were kids, since we were collecting like Mars Attacks cards or Garbage Pail Kids. Like, and he never got like over that. So when I told him about this polybag stuff, he was like, yeah, that's stupid. And then he texted me because he was working out of town, and he was like, yo, what were the polybag comics again? I'm gonna go through some comic book stores, let's say I run into a couple. And I was like, man, don't do that. Those are stupid. Don't do that. I do think that I mean, they have brought an interest into the comics, I'm sure. Tessa, you've seen that? Like people that
Yeah, for
normally
sure.
don't get comics, right?
It's
Like,
also not that much, like definitely a little bit, just because it's easier because it's like also a number one and it's Batman. So it's like, yeah, you can find out what cover you get, but no matter what, you can just jump right in. I have a lot of I have a lot of comic people who really like foil covers and stuff like that. So they'll just end up getting multiple because they want to get different covers, they want to open stuff. So I think it scratches that like collector itch. And like you said, like Pokemon is such a thing now. And so that definitely gets that kind of collector who just like wants to open stuff.
have you seen any of these people that are like, yo, I really like Marvel Rivals? Where's that Emma Frost comic? Or where is that
yeah.
Shark, dude?
Jeff the Land Shark comic?
Yo, I've been picking that first appearance out of dollar bins forever just because I love Kelly Thompson and I love Jeff the Land Shark. And now I didn't know until like last week or the week before that it's like $150, $200 now.
$150 American money for Jeff the Land Shark?
For West Coast Avengers #7. Like, it's stupid. So anyway.
Wow, well, good on
one of those.
that. That's cool. Yeah, Marvel Rivals has peaked there.
You can still find them in dollar bins. Go hunt for them. But yeah, no, we definitely get a lot of people that honestly, video games are probably like one of our biggest gateway drugs for comics at our stores because people, I mean, this one is so popular that people are immediately going into it. Fortnite, different costumes and stuff have also gotten people interested in comics.
I know you all have seen it on TikTok. I remember like somebody asked me to make a Magic Ileana reading video, and I didn't know anything about Marvel Rivals, and I'm like, that's a random question. But sure, I'll do it because I love that character.
Yeah, she's one of my first loves.
Video blew up, and I'm like, whoa, what the hell's going on? And then my brother was like, yeah, man, Marvel Rivals, dude, any character from there, people are gonna ask about. So I'm like, give me a list. So he like handed me a list of like all the characters that showed up. That's when I found out about Jeff the Land Shark. I'm like, what? That's awesome.
He was like, I think he was in the first set of characters too. Because when we first started playing, it was like I was enjoying him. He's fun.
I haven't played Rivals at all. Is it? I know it's similar to Overwatch, right? That's kind of the thing.
It's the closest game
Marvel,
to
Overwatch.
it. Yeah.
Is there like an ongoing story in the game?
With the events and stuff,
there
maybe.
is.
I guess there might be like some lore drops in there, you know?
There is like a little story thing. I haven't done it, but there is like a little story thing you can do.
This is my question, because I feel that like movies don't really lead to a widespread increase in comic book sales. I'm sure there's like little tiny bumps, but overall, it doesn't seem like the movie audience, it becomes the comic book audience.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm wondering if that's because they feel like they got the story from the movie and they don't need to, like, there's nothing driving them to go like, oh, I got to read about these characters. But if there's a very minimalistic story to this game,
it's just multiplayer. Yeah.
Right. And so now they're just like, oh, this character seems cool, but I don't know anything about them because the game doesn't have much of a narrative. That's what's urging people to like convincing people to go out and look for it.
I definitely see that because especially when I have like customers coming in asking for things based on movies, they're never like, I liked Avengers Endgame. Can you send me something like that? They're always like, yo, I really liked White Widow in this. Like, could you show me something else with her kind of thing? Where it's, I was sparked by this one character. Can you show me more Loki? So that definitely makes sense to me.
And actually, I wonder too, if the reason why there's been like this kind of bump in DC popularity is because with like Superman coming out over the summer, they were not shy about like, these are the books that we want, that we're taking inspiration from and stuff like that.
Yeah, James Gunn is really good about that. When, you know, people hated Flash, but when that movie came out and that trailer dropped, at the end of the trailer, they were like, and these are the inspirations for the book. And it was Flashpoint. It was like Jeff Johns' Flash, Mark Waid's Flash. And I hadn't seen that kind of synergy since those first wave of Marvel movies. When those Marvel movies were coming out, there was always like somebody outside of the movie theater, like with like a comic book stand, like free comic books, or selling comic book memorabilia. Because you don't see that anymore. Eventually, they were like, I guess Disney was like, we don't need that.
The comic shop that I work at was asked, like when Deadpool and Wolverine came out last year, the theater was just like, hey, do you guys want to set up a little table and sell stuff. And we didn't think that anybody was going to buy anything. Like I just put together a list of things that I thought would be cool. You know, like paperbacks and hardcovers, and then like some single issues and stuff. And we were just like, nobody's going to buy this. This is just going to be like advertising for the store. And we ended up selling so many things. Just right as people were leaving the theater, they were like going nuts, just coming out like, oh, I want to get a Gambit book, and you know, stuff like that. We did the same thing for Thunderbolts, and we did the same thing for Superman. And I don't think we did as well as that first Deadpool and Wolverine, but still, it is crazy to me how many people want to buy comics.
They just
don't know where to go
yeah.
to get them. So you have to bring it to them. And yeah, I mean, I really feel like if somehow, you know, Disney and Warner Brothers found a way to have little pop-ups outside of showings of their movies, it would convince them to do it all the time.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, people are constantly telling me they had no idea that comic book stores still existed. Like
Yeah.
they thought they went away decades ago.
Ouch.
So something I've seen recently is a bunch of gas stations near me. I don't know if this is
Yeah.
but
we
a
have
lot of
we have them in
DC
grocery
comics.
stores
'Cause-
here. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sheets
like they
doing
need to
it.
be doing that more. Because I know a lot of people that just have never bought a comic a day in their life, but they see it at the Cumbies gas station and they're just you know, buy their first, like a weird first appearance. I don't know, they're like $5. Like they're kind of weird, and they come in like a poly bag too. But yeah. Oh, shout out to Bumpkins in the chat.
Hi,
Well,
Bumpkins!
With
Who was here
compact
last time?
comics, they should have these compact comics should be like everywhere. Like you should be able
You know,
to not.
it's weird because I think compact comics in 2002, 2003, they tried something very similar. And it was during the popularity of manga, when the big manga boom was happening with Tokyo Pop. And Marvel was the very first company that did it. They did this wave called Tsunami, where they rebranded some of their comics, like Runaways with one. I think Runaways is the only successful Tsunami line that stayed. There was also Mystique and Human Torch by Scotty Young. All these books that kind of had that manga flair to them. And what they did, instead of releasing them in trade paperback after the first 6 issues, they would release them in these small digest-sized books. And you would see it at like Barnes and Noble and places like, what was the other book outlet called before they went under? Borders. They would put them with the manga, and a lot of people were confused. I think they didn't know what it was. They thought it was manga, but in color. And I think that kind of made Marvel rethink their strategy. And then DC saw that maybe it was time to do it again. And now everybody's following suit with those DC compacts. Whether they're making money off of it or not, because, you know, the overhead on that is, on anything that's physical, is just expensive. But at least it's bringing people into comics. And I find it really interesting when there's things like Gotham Central. So Gotham Central is coming out. It's the first 10 issues. That's one of my favorite comics of all time.
Same.
But the next place you can get more of the story is, I guess, digital, or if you want it in physical edition, it's the omnibus. And that omnibus is $100. So if you're like, man, I really like this $10 book, where's the story continue? And I need it in physical format. It's like, yeah, it's in this $100 omnibus. And that's the only other way to get it. So I find that's an interesting move, but it's almost like a good gateway drug into getting people into buying more expensive collections. But it's working, right? Like you saw it with Batman, Watchmen, which I found really interesting that they did it with Watchmen. Linz, have you gotten any of those compacts, or the Marvel Premiere? Marvel Premiere is doing their thing too.
No,
Like
I have
the
not
small
got it. I have not got any of the compacts. They've been tempting, but they cut out certain things, right? Because I was reading
Jonathan Hickman's book is the very first one that cut
Yes.
out.
On the Marvel side, they cut, but I think in the DC they try to just keep it all intact.
DC straight
for the
up
most part,
like
right?
single.
So-
DC does straight up like reprints of the single issues. Marvel will give you like extras in the back, which I think with a compact book you really don't need. I think with a compact book, to me is like, just give me the story and that's it. Yeah, Jonathan Hickman is the only person so far that I've seen so far at Marvel that said, give me the book and I'm gonna map it for you. So he took out pages from his issues, and it's Jonathan Hickman, so you let Jonathan Hickman do whatever he wants to do. And he does, and it still kind of makes sense. Like I remember reading some of it. I'm like, oh, this part is left out. That's really interesting. The good stuff is still there, but like it almost feels like a producer's cut of a movie instead of the director's cut, right? If you want the director's cut, you'll have to get the omnibus edition. Yeah, so they have been coming out, and Oni Press started their own line. Who was it? Skybound is doing something with The Walking Dead.
Yeah,
As far as, like,
Invincible.
compact
They've been
books.
doing a bunch of Invincible ones too.
Yeah, those have been coming out
with
for a while.
Saga too.
Okay, Saga too. Yep.
Saga's been coming out in that format. So I see a lot of publishers doing that because why not, right?
As a
gets new
story,
readers
kind of
come in.
hate the Invincible ones. They're
Why?
not like cheaper, and they're so bright and
not
colorful that
cheaper.
people keep thinking that they're friendly for kids. They're like
Oh.
pastel pinks and pastel blues. Like there's so much more color from the other ones. Just like
that's
all
what-
the books.
Okay, legit. That's the only thing I remember when I did an overview of the Watchmen one that kind of surprised me, that there is no age rating on it, nor does it come sealed in plastic.
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't think
I'm not
about
saying
that,
And
yeah.
Watchmen
people know
is
that it's a
horrible,
cartoon
and
that's
I probably
popular.
read it way too young than I should have. But like, imagine like a 12-year-old kid reading that, and their parents find out, and holy
What's
Well,
the
it's
crap.
show
like-
rated? I guess like the show might be. Maybe
When
I
the
you
don't
know
show's
The
like mature or
Walking
something.
Dead in context, you'd be like, "What is this book? Zombies? Oh, I don't want my kid reading zombies. This one is superheroes. Yeah, he likes Superman. He can read that stuff." And it's like,
And then in that first issue, it's like sexual assault, and you're like, oh,
yeah. So it's
shit,
like
what is my kid
that's a
reading?
bit of a gripe I have.
Yeah, that's the only problem I had with those. I'm surprised they didn't put an age rating on it, because at least with manga, they kind of know now, like not everything is kid friendly, and they put like a rating on it, and they put it sealed in plastic. Let me get this. There's a question for you, Drew. Let's
Mhm.
talk Silver Age. You can't tell me that modern Amazing Spider-Man touches anything from Amazing Spider-Man 1 through 20, the origin of the OG Spider villains. Did you say something about Silver Age?
I mean,
Something
I just said that I don't really read Golden Age. I don't care to. You know what? I can't tell you that because I've read so little Spider-Man in my whole life that I can probably count on one hand the number of Spider-Man issues I've read.
That's why Drew's happy because he hasn't read all the not so good Spider-Man over the
That's
years.
why Drew's happy.
Yeah,
I don't think that's true.
First of all,
I would consider Drew's a happy guy. No,
you think I'm happy?
What?
We haven't spent enough time around each other.
you're always smiling. Look at that smile, dude.
I love Drew so much, but I don't know if the first thing that would come to mind is that he's a happy camper.
Happy guy.
Have you read what he's written? That's not from a happy guy.
That's
That's from a
true. I've seen
traumatized
his-
man.
that's
Wait, where
true,
can
that's
people
true.
find what you wrote, dude? Out of curiosity, for people that don't know.
Well, I mean, if you're talking like comics, the only professional comic stuff that I've had released is last year's DC holiday special. I had a story in there about Secret Six, which was illustrated by Mariana Ignazi, and she's incredible. So like, support everything that she does because just insanely good work. And then I do like I post my other like single page comics or like my short comics online. Usually they show up on Instagram, which is just same thing as TikTok. drewxdeficit. You got to put the X in there.
Isn't your Instagram private though?
Yes, it is. I do have to keep it private because students of mine started
Yeah.
finding my Instagram, and
That's what happens, man.
yeah, it was I went from a school where kids didn't care enough about me to like think about me outside of the 90 minutes that we had to be together to like now they just want to know everything about my life, and it's very strange.
Drew, how come you don't brag about the fact that you wrote a DC game, dude? How come I always have to be the one bringing this thing up? dude?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
I know not.
Dude, Cody is your hype man. Tell us
Unbelievable,
about
dude.
that, Drew.
Yeah, I wrote. There was a video game that came out a couple years ago called Justice League Cosmic Chaos. It's like a kid's light RPG, like dungeon crawler. Basically,
It's awesome.
it's like a Justice League game that teaches kids how to play Diablo.
It's
Essentially,
so witty though and so funny. I
yeah,
love it.
we did. I'm glad that you're reading Justice League International because, like, when the developers like approached me about writing it, they were like, you know, it's got to be like kid friendly, and we want it to be kind of like Saturday morning cartoon. And then I was just like, well, what if I did it like a workplace comedy that was a sitcom? And then I was just like, if you've ever read Justice League International, that's what that is. And
I'm
so
reading JLI because I've been friends with Kevin McGuire for so many years that now I feel like bad that I haven't read Justice League International.
yeah. And so, yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's like a kid-friendly take on the Justice League. I don't know. It's a lot of fun. We wrote a kid.
Costumes are sick. It's really fun.
Yeah, I got to, the reason why they asked me to do it is, I knew somebody on the dev team, and he was just like, we don't have anybody in house who knows the Justice League. So like, would you be interested in it? And then when it came to like, other stuff, they were just like, we need to come up with costumes that they can unlock. Can you provide a list of costumes? And I think every single costume that is in that game, outside of maybe like 5, are things that I suggested. I was just like, these have to be in there. And DC pushed back on things like the Kingdom Come costume because they said it was too serious for a kid's game. And luckily, like the people in the art department like went to bat and were just like, no, like we know that this is a costume that people want in this game, even though it's for children. And really like made sure that was in there. I will say the one costume that they just would not let up on, I wanted to have the blue laser Superman from the 90s.
We don't want people to remember that. Stop.
They were just like, they said no because he has different powers. And they said it would be too confusing for people. And I was just like, I don't think it'd be confusing.
Split into
everyone should play this game because Booster Gold is in it. Go play it.
I was gonna say, I mean, the fact that we don't get like any DC games ever, dude. Like Marvel fans are eating good. They got so many games coming out. DC fans are starving, dude.
Peacemaker's in Mortal Kombat, isn't he?
I'll tell you what, though.
We get a character every now and then. That's nothing, dude.
That's what
Marvel gets
loves.
full games. Yeah, it's like crazy, but yeah.
I will tell you, in San Diego, I ran into Randy, who is the head of DC Interactive, and he didn't tell me anything specific, so it's not like I know stuff and I'm like kind of teasing it, but he legitimately said, we're working on a lot of stuff that's going to make a lot of people happy. And that's all he said to me. So I don't know any more than that.
I hate when people say that to me. Like,
right.
Like I knew about this Marvel DC thing because I have friends at Marvel and I get to announce things for them. And this was the one thing I could not announce because it's Marvel and DC. And I said, what's coming out? Because I knew that it wasn't just going to be an omnibus reprint. I knew there was going to be new stuff. And they were like, well, there's going to be a big thing happening with Deadpool and Batman, and then some things that are going to make some people happy. And I'm like, damn it. What does that mean? Because things that make me happy are a lot different than what makes Cody happy or Lynn's happy. So I need details. And we're still getting some of that stuff. I think some of the stuff has just kind of trickled out in the last couple of days. It is really cool to see that representation in video games and movies, though, because when I was a kid, there wasn't a lot of video games for comic book characters outside of the LJN,
LJN,
like Wolverine and Silver Surfer, X-Men.
Hey man, you got X-Men and Spider-Man Arcade's Revenge.
Yeah, that was a few years later. That was Sega CD. I had that on the Sega CD. I like that game.
I had it on the
but like back in the Nintendo era, I mean, we didn't have anything hardly. And then the LJN started doing their video games, which are very basic, but that was it. So it's really cool to see like all these type of video games, even Marvel Rivals.
Omar, are you excited about the Wolverine game?
I'm excited to watch my wife play it because I ain't got time to play games. I got to read. Dude, I asked you all what you all are reading. My stack of books, I actually brought it with me.
I'm sorry. We were rude. What are you reading, Omar?
Thank you for asking. That's really nice. This is my stack of books for this week. But I, unlike most of you, am different because this is what I do for a living. And I take it seriously. This is my every day.
Take it seriously.
Every day.
This is my job, and I don't take it
Oh, nice. I
Every
see She-Hulk. That's a good one too.
Every
Rainbow
day.
Royale.
Now some of
Rainbow
the stuff,
Royale.
I'm like Johnny.
Most of
Five.
those are new releases, right, Omar? Like they're new
Yeah,
books
these are
coming out.
upcoming releases for the month of October, with a couple of exceptions. But luckily, I have already read this stuff, so I'm like, when it comes to like rereading stuff, it's kind of like Short Circuit, Johnny Five. I kind of skim through it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what happens here. That's right, I got this. But then there's stuff I have never read that like.
But are you reading?
For?
Out of Alcatraz is so good.
Like I haven't
Are
read
you
it.
reading for fun?
Am I reading for fun? Yes.
Is there anything? Is there anything that
I actually have a fun
you haven't
stack
just
on my
you haven't read?
nightstand.
Hey, baby, show us your fun stack.
You want to see my fun stack? That's
I wanna see your fun
Patreon
stack.
exclusive. No, really. Like I have a fun stack on my nightstand since February of 2025, and I haven't gotten through any of it because it's like these Silver Age books ain't no joke, man. And they ain't reading themselves, and they take a while to read. And
That's your
I have
fun
to take a
stack?
break in between.
Your fun stack is Silver Age? No, that's the
No, that's work. I don't read Silver Age for fun.
You made fun of me.
Obligatory weekly appeal to the people to read Iron Man. Sorry, John. It's something, you know, this is what I do. My channel is what I do for a living, and I'm very blessed to be doing it. So I take it seriously. So my stack, what, you know, some people would look at that and be like, oh man, that's awesome. Me, I'm trying to figure out ways of like, how am I going to show this? Because I've read this before on a YouTube video without it getting pulled or demonetized, because there's a lot of sexual content in here.
I will give you
people in the comments want to see your fun stack. Everyone wants
I'll
to
give
know
you
your
a
fun
PNG of my face, and then you can just put that over.
Oh, I've used a PNG of my near mint condition logo to cover like nipples and stuff, because it's weird. YouTube's like decapitation, dismemberment, blood, guts, whatever. That's fine. You show one nipple and they freak out.
Classrooms
like,
are the same.
This video is now mature content and will not be monetized. And I'm like, whoa, it's a nipple.
Somebody clip that. Whoa, it's a nipple. Somebody clip that.
I've said a lot weirder stuff on the channel before. I'm sure there's a collection of clippings. But I mean, it's just the way YouTube is. I don't know. How is TikTok for that stuff? You guys are more into TikTok. Like, is TikTok more like, hey, don't show any nudity, or what's going on?
I like this gesture.
You definitely cannot show nudity, and like the stuff on TikTok is like, it's similar to YouTube in the sense that it's like it's automated, so it just kind of like looks for, like, it scans your video for like shapes of things, I guess. I remember one time I had a video, I can't remember what it was. I think maybe it was The Punisher or something, but because there was a visible drawing of a gun, like that video just like got taken down immediately. And like it went through, and then I got a notification that was like, oh no, you can't do this. I had a video. Do you remember when the Watchmen movie was being promoted, I think at New York Comic-Con, Warner Brothers was handing out Dr. Manhattan condoms, like as a promotional tool. And it's in like the little matchbook style, and it opens it up, and on the inside it says, "We're society's only protection." And it was like an official thing that they were handing out as a freebie at New York Comic-Con, like October of 2008 or something like that. And anyway, I have one of those, and I made a video about that on TikTok, showed it for like 30 seconds or something, and it was up for a year until one day I got a notification. It was just like, this video is being taken down because it's like promoting sexuality or something like that. And there was nothing in it that was like nudity. It was just, and it was
maybe it was your rugged good looks. They were like, this is promoting sexuality. Like, maybe that's what it was.
Maybe that's what I was promoting safe sex. I'm gonna sneeze, so I'm gonna mute myself.
There was a series that was giving me a lot of trouble on TikTok. I have a poster of it. Can you see this World Tree poster on my ceiling?
The James Tynion.
Dude, the cover, the girl, like the naked girl who's naked in like every issue on every cover. I had to stop pulling the series because my video.
Naked girls have been getting us in trouble for years. It's not nothing
she's,
new.
She's like a cyber girl. Like she got like paint on, you know what I mean? But that cover has gotten my video pulled so many times.
All right, Linz, this is for you. This is your posters behind your fire. Amazing Spider-Man.
Thank
What
you.
else you got back there? What do you
I
got
also
back
have
there?
little ones up here. These are from like a calendar
Ooh.
that I just cut out and put up there.
Those are
Um,
sick.
Oh, is that Christmas? Is that Christmas decorations?
Yeah, I love Christmas, so my Christmas tree's up
Nice.
all year long.
What? You're one of those.
It's X-Men themed, so you can't see, but it
Oh.
has little like X-Men
Oh,
action
yeah.
figures, and it has a Sentinel on the back.
What?
That gets a pass. That's cool. You're cool. You're all right. You're all right, Linz.
Uh,
What's
And
okay?
then
So
I
you,
turn
have
me
Mrs.
into a
I
Venom.
love Venom, and then we have this amazing poster here.
You love Venom, the character,
Yes.
like from the movie or from the comics?
No,
I'm
not the
assuming-
movie.
I'm assuming-
I mean, I'll watch them.
What's your favorite poster you have?
my favorite poster? Okay, I have a Silver Surfer one. Alex Ross. You can't
Hell
see
yeah.
it. It would be that one.
Okay.
Is it like the Norrin Rad, or is it the
Oh, yeah. It's Norrin Rad. I wish
Okay.
it was the Earth X one, but no.
Shalabal? Earth
I was about to say Earth X, and then I was thinking that's the name of the one in DC. That can't be called. They can't
Wait,
both
right?
have
No,
Earth
Earth
X.
X, right? Okay, good.
It was Earth X. Earth X.
Yeah, I was second guessing myself.
No,
I know,
wish.
man.
I
Names.
do. I
They're
do
all
love
they're all
Earth
the
X.
same. What DC character could most easily enter the Marvel universe and pass as a Marvel character, and what Marvel character could do the same with DC? I'm gonna let you all take this one at a time. Tessa, who's a
I think I
DC
have a
character that could
technical
easily
answer.
come into the Marvel universe?
I think I have the technical answer. Lobo was based on being a satirical character based on the Marvel universe, and it's also Stan Lee's favorite DC character. So I feel like he can just go in there. I think that makes that work.
Okay. What about
and then
vice
Marvel
versa?
going,
Yeah.
oh, Squirrel Girl. She'd be like on Birds of Prey or something somehow, because there's no birds on that team really. Yeah, Squirrel Girl I feel like could come right over.
Wow. Okay. Cody.
This is like the craziest. I've never thought about, because they don't. You know what I mean? Like they're separate. I haven't thought about the possibility of. Yeah, I don't know. That's
It's
a
time.
tough one.
It's time to think now, Cody. Batmantha, what do you got? You got to have some kind of answer. Who's a character you wish would cross over?
Like Cody, I've never thought about the DC, like what character from DC could go into Marvel, but for Marvel, definitely Daredevil. Easily.
Daredevil,
Easily
yeah,
Daredevil. Yeah.
that's true.
Okay.
Good one.
Linz, any thoughts on this?
I have no answer.
I really thought you were gonna go with a cosmic character because those are so easy, like Silver Surfer or Galactus crossing over.
I was gonna say Silver Surfer, but I was like, nah, you guys are gonna roll your eyes.
No, nobody's gonna roll your eyes. Drew, what about you? Do you often think of these things?
I actually have thought of this before because people have asked me this. I think that Batman would make total sense in the Marvel universe.
Okay.
I think he's one that just could very easily cross over. I have thoughts about who from Marvel could go to DC. I do think Daredevil is a very good response to that, and that's not what I first would have thought, but I do think that's a great response. I think in some of the easy ones would be like Moon Knight or Punisher could move over. But I don't know. I want to have like a really weird answer. So
you don't have to have a weird answer like Squirrel Girl.
She's popular now.
Oh,
I'm gonna say Marvel Rivals again.
Yeah. Oh, that Ryan North run is good, man.
Yeah, people really
also,
like
she's created by Steve Ditko. It's her and Murray. It's like a satirical character.
There are certain people that just don't like and appreciate Squirrel Girl. Is all. That's it. I think it would maybe somebody like Nova could change places with the Ray. I love the Ray. It's a very obscure character.
The Ray.
Yeah. Coming over to Marvel Comics because nobody would notice. Nobody would notice from DC that the Ray is missing. And nobody from Marvel would be like, "Hey, that guy doesn't look like he belongs here."
I mean, if that's the way we're thinking about it, okay. From
She
DC
said
to
Squirrel Girl. Of course, that's the way we're thinking about it.
from DC to Marvel, okay. Wild Dog would make sense in Marvel.
Yeah, okay.
Love
Now we're
Wild
talking, baby. Yes.
Dude, Kyle Stark's run on Wild Dog is so good.
Wild Dog is one of the things that, like, when I beef up my portfolio and I get to like pitch to DC again, Wild Dog is like something that's like, yes, I want to do a Wild Dog story so badly. And yeah, I mean, I'm just like, this is in the back of my mind. It's living there until it gets to actually come out.
Hi, Dan.
Okay, it's a Wild Dog.
Or Death from Sandman.
Yeah, and she can hang out with Skinny Death from Thanos. Any of y'all coming to NYCC, New York Comic Con? You've been keeping me company my layover in Chicago. So thanks for a great stream. Thank you, Dan. I am not. My funds got eaten up by my Europe trip. Anybody else from here gonna go to New York Comic Con? Tessa's gonna be there.
Well, I'm not.
Next year, hopefully.
Cody, what'd you say?
Next year, hopefully. Yep.
Yeah, I plan on going back next year, but not this year. And I plan on doing San Diego next year too, because it's been many a years. I think 1997 was the last time I went to San Diego Comic Con. Linz,
Wow.
No,
make me feel old really quick.
unfortunately,
Make me
no.
feel old really quick.
Yes.
Were you even around in 1997?
I was not around in 1997.
Okay,
I
thank you.
wasn't either, but
Shut the hell up, Cody. Ain't nobody asking you. Only one of you can make me feel old at a time. Thank you. I have my buddy Bar. She sent me Poison Ivy for my birthday, and I fell in love with that series. It became one of my favorite.
Poison Ivy series is awesome.
Last year, and now I want it in absolute format. Like I love that series. It is so good, and the artwork.
I have original art for issue number 4.
What?
What?
Got original art for issue number 4.
No,
got
yeah,
it
we
hanging
heard
up?
you.
You got to hang it up.
Right here, you see?
Yeah. Okay.
I also have the original art. Okay, this will make the. Oh, hold on.
Dude, I have so much original art. Can this become an original art show? Let's go.
No, because I don't own any. I own 0 original art. My wife owns an original piece. I don't.
From what? What does she have?
Alf. It's become a joke.
Hell yeah.
You remember Alf?
Love Elf.
Now
Yeah,
he's
he's
back.
back in freaking original art form. What is Cody pulling down? What do you got, Cody?
Don't worry about the Superman that fell.
It was
the
funny.
actor.
Yeah, I like that.
You guys recognize what this is from?
Oh,
Hold
Absolute
on.
Wonder Woman.
Oh, you own a Hayden Sherman piece?
Oh yeah, dude, Hayden Sherman.
Oh,
Absolute
dude,
Wonder
they're
Woman issue
killing
1.
it on that. Hayden to be so young, so talented. Oh my gosh,
Beautiful, dude. It's that 2-page. It's like that progression of showing.
Yeah,
Her growing up.
Did you just
I gotta
find
hang
it?
this one up. Like
You just-
actually, but
You just found it online, or
it was through Felix Comic Art or whatever.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I've never been more sad to not be filming in my regular space because I just put a bunch of original art on the wall and I'm so sad I can't show it off right now.
What's your favorite piece you own, Tessa? Favorite piece? Can't live without.
God. My friend my friend at Comic Shop News, he got me a piece from the Philip Kennedy Johnson run on Action Comics, which is one of my favorite Superman stories. It's Daniel Sampieri, and it's specifically the part where like they're dealing with her chained up, and she doesn't want to give up the chains of her oppressor. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful piece because it also harkens back to Philip doing that for a living and trying to save people who have been all of that. So that's probably it. But I have a ton of Simmons pieces because we're buddies, and then I've got some John J. Pearson pieces. I've got Federici. I've got a bunch of stuff.
Okay, wow, you got a lot. Drew, Batmantha, Linz, do you all own any original art?
Nope.
I have so the closest that I get to that, I do have I have a page from the very first book that I ever self-published. The artist sent it to me.
That's special. What was it?
Yeah, and it's so stupid. I wrote myself into the book because I thought that was funny. And so I have the page where I'm in it. And so like he sent that to me because he was just like, yeah, you're self-centered, you'd enjoy this. And so I have that, and then I have like little like have any of you read Mary Tyler Moorhawk?
No.
Yeah, I thought I was the only one that read it. Fantagraphics released that a couple of years ago.
Yeah, so Dave Baker became a friend of mine just from the internet, and anyway, I in San Diego, I had him do a little sketch of Cutie Boy in
from
the
the
front
book,
of that. And I also have, it's not necessarily original art because it didn't go into the book, but it's like, so I have this tattoo on my arm that's unfinished, and it's a few pages out of
Flex for us.
Andy Kubert's
flex,
art
buddy.
from
Flex.
Now I see it. Now that those muzzles are okay. Yeah, very nice.
It's a couple pages of Andy Kubert's art from Detective Comics number 853. And I happened to run into him in Chicago. He was not scheduled to be at the first C2E2, but he was there with the Kubert School. And so I happened to run into him, and it was like right around the time that I first started getting that worked on. And I showed it to him. And so he didn't give me the original art, but he gave me like, I guess like kind of, it's an 11 by 17 Bristol board page that's like where he was sketching out the ideas to show like, oh, this is how it's going to look in the finished book. I just want to show you, does this look okay? And so he gave me that. And
that's so cool.
So it's just like rough pencils. It's not inked or anything like that.
I love pencils. That's gorgeous.
And it's, I mean, they're not finished pencils at all. It's literally just kind of like shapes and little.
Drew, it's cool. I promise you, it's cool.
I just don't want you to think too much about it.
So
but yeah, it is very cool.
Batmantha and Linz, and I'm going to ask you all, since I also don't own any, what would be a piece of original art that you would love to have? Like, what comic book speaks to you? What page? I know I've got my answer, and I actually know the guy that owns my freaking page that I want, and not know him, but I know who he is. What would you all want?
I've never thought about that, but it would be something Daredevil.
Okay,
definitely Daredevil. Yeah,
like
maybe
Frank
something
Miller,
like
Alex Maleev.
Alex Maleev, Daredevil.
Okay,
a good pick. That's cool.
Yeah.
Good one. Linz?
It reminds me that I do have a sketch. I have a little sketch headshot of Daredevil from Chris Somney. That's probably the coolest
because
thing.
He's near you, right? He's local to you?
He lives somewhere around here. I don't know
Yeah.
where, but I mean, he lives in the same city, but I bought it from him. He just did it for Inktober.
Okay. All right, Linz, what Silver Surfer Alex Ross piece would you like to own?
Okay, we're talking about art, and I feel the need to mention my little brother, because my little brother draws, and I'm like, an original piece of art that I would like to own. His whole sketchbook. He's always trying to hide it from you, or like, he's like, I'm like, can I see what you're drawing? He's like, but no, for real. I love Silver Surfer. So there's this one specific panel splash page in Silver Surfer Black. I think it's issue. I should know this. I think it's issue 7, 8.
Trad Moore?
Yes, Trad. But Silver Surfer Black's like my favorite comic ever. And that page specifically like is really personal to me, and I think it would be that one.
That's a good one. I really love the angles that he used in that story. He was actually selling some of that at Heroes Con.
Mm-hmm.
He had a lot of that Silver Surfer Black art. For me, I actually know the person that owns this original page. And this is the page. It's from the only issue I have that is signed by John Byrne, Chris Claremont, and Stan Lee. It's down there. But it's from issue of Uncanny X-Men 114. And it's that issue. It's this page of Sauron and Storm.
You know the person who has this?
It's Rob Liefeld.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Rob Liefeld owns that page because he owns a lot of John Byrne's original art. And I'm like, shit, never going to be able to get that. Second, that would be my second one. Is the issue 269 with the bubbles with Rogue. Absolutely, yeah. They knew what they were doing.
The only book that I really want original art from, like specifically, because I just pick up pieces kind of in general because I like a lot of indie stuff. But I have a piece from my favorite Superman run, which I was just talking about. I have a piece from Tom King's Batman run. It's when Kite Man is making his kite. I have that page. And then I really want a page from my favorite Wonder Woman run so I could have like the Trinity together. So right now I have like 2 and then Booster Gold up there.
Who was the artist? Was it
Clay
Man?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I
a good
really want a
date.
piece from, I know it's a weird pick, but Wonder Woman Afterworlds by Becky Cloonan, Michael Conrad, and then Travis Moore for the art. But
Ooh.
I've never seen them sell any of the art, and I want a page so bad.
I love a page from Wonder Woman Historia. Like
Ooh, that'd be crazy,
any
though.
of them, Nicola Scott or any of them.
Jimenez.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That artwork in there is so beautiful. What was your first comic book, Linz? I think you're the youngest person here on the panel.
Wait,
and I'm curious what got you into comics to begin with.
Wait, so like my first comic like that I read or that I owned?
No, that you read. What got you into comics? What was it that got you into comics to begin with?
Well, I grew up loving Marvel, but I live in a small town, and there's literally nothing here. So I always in my brain growing up, I don't know, I always thought like comic shops weren't real, or like I just knew that they were inaccessible, basically. And comic books, like I don't know, I didn't think they were real either. Or like they weren't tangible, basically. Until my little brother, he draws and stuff, and he also likes Marvel. And I remember they bought him a comic. I think it was my brother, maybe my older brother. And so that's kind of how we slowly got into it. We're like, oh, this is real. And then they would buy him more comics and stuff. And well, I also like to read them, so I would read the ones they would buy him and stuff. And then eventually in 2020 was when I you guys keep bringing that up.
Yo, you when you said that, like, I've talked about this, and I promise I'll come back to you. When you said that, have you ever seen Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade?
Maybe. I don't think I've seen the whole
too
movie.
old of a movie for you. Anyway,
that movie's too old.
I don't know Indiana Jones though.
There's a scene where the bad guy gets the cup, and it's the wrong cup he drinks out of, and he just fades away and turns into ashes. When you said I grew up watching you, that's how I felt. Like, the villain in the Last Crusade fading away, and I'm like, yeah. Anyway, go ahead, Linz.
See, I thought it was gonna come off as nice, like, oh, I grew up.
Well, it was really sweet, and it did mean a lot to me. It does mean a lot to me.
Everyone in the comments thinks that.
But people in the comments thought it was the funniest goddamn thing.
It meant a lot to him, but now he also feels like he was born in the 1800s. So
okay, so anyway, in 2020 was when I discovered Marvel Unlimited, and that unlocked everything. Marvel. It was over. It was over. So I've been reading ever since.
What was the first thing you remember reading? What was the first comic book?
Sorcerer Black was one of the first things that I read. What else? I don't know. Like Books of Doom. No, not Books of Doom. I don't know. That's the first thing that pops into my brain. But I remember going back to a lot of number ones. Obviously, I like to start with number ones. I don't know. But yeah.
Number one. So you like to go back to the beginning. Like that's where your Silver Age obsession.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's when I like opened up Marvel Comics number 1. I was like, hold on, what was the first ever comic? Yeah, I went back.
Wow. Okay. What about you, Batmantha? First comic book you ever read, and why?
Well, I can't really remember the first comic I read because I started sort of well, I don't know if collecting's the word, but like I used to get comics when I was a kid, like going to the library and stuff like that. And like I think we only had a couple of comic book shops here when I was about 9 or 10, and I had a little collection, and I think I just used to like the covers, look at the pictures inside. I don't think I ever actually used to read them. But it wasn't until I guess the Walking Dead TV show when I started like buying the compendiums, and I was reading that, and then I was keeping up with the trades as they were coming out. So I guess the Walking Dead.
Do you read more Kirkman stuff?
No.
Fair. Sorry.
No. I mean, I like the Walking. I still haven't finished the Walking Dead.
Okay.
Like, I think I stopped when I can't remember what trade or what issue it was. It's the end of the 3rd compendium. So whatever
Okay.
the end of that, that's
only got one
when
more.
it stopped. And then
Yeah, I think you
life
need just one more.
Yeah.
well, life sort of got in the way, and I think I don't know. I think I was in a relationship at that time, so I stopped reading comic books.
Yeah,
And
relationships will kill your comic
Yeah,
book reading.
rough. No.
Do not recommend.
yeah,
You're married. Oh,
I am married.
And
And my
you
wife
did.
loves my wife
Hey,
loves
congratulations.
My
My
wife
condolences.
freaking loves single issues, and it drives me nuts. Like, she'll go to the comic book store to buy single issues. And I was like, what are you doing? I have a brand. This is the home of collected editions. This isn't the home of collected editions and sometimes single issues. Man, she loves single issues. Like anything freaking Chip Zdarsky does, she'll go out and buy. And
Your
you know
wife's
what's
so
funny is we
cool.
were talking about variant covers earlier. Like, she didn't know sometimes she would be buying the same comic because it had 2 or 3 different covers. And it was adorable. So she bought like the same issue of Transformers. And I was like, this is the same issue. It just has a different cover. And she's like, oh my gosh, they tricked me again. And that's
Your
and I'm
wife
like,
is so
I wonder how
cute.
often does that happen? Is like that's how Melanie is, man.
Is she single? I'm interested.
No, she's not. She's married to me. The home of collected editions. She has this empire to inherit after I leave. Cody, first comic book, buddy.
You know, it's funny you brought up Walking Dead, Batmantha. That was actually the series that that was my first collected edition, was the Walking Dead Compendium. Same kind of thing, watching the Walking Dead show with the family as it's coming out in like that season 2, season 3 like era when it was like really, really good. And as the show was coming out, I remember the finale happened, and my mom's like, "We have to know what's going to happen next." She gets me all the compendiums and has me read them, and I remember just having my family sit around, and I'm like, "And this is going to happen," and then this guy comes, and then they come in, and yeah, so that was kind of my first like collected edition first reading, binge reading, was that Walking Dead Compendium. I actually the first single issue, someone in the chat was asking if we remember our like first single issues, because that seems kind of hard to remember. My first one was like Batman Confidential.
Oh yeah, it's a good series.
It's like a, different creative teams would jump on and do, I didn't know this at the time obviously, but they would do different like 2-3 issue little arcs, and it was the Riddler's on the cover, and Batman's teaming up with the Riddler to fight like the villain Rama Tut or something like that. But it just always stuck out to me because I love the Riddler probably more than I like Batman back in the day. I don't know why I love the Riddler so much, but yeah, just that Batman Confidential issue always sticks out to me. And then I have somewhere I can't reach it, but it's like a little tiny like little trade black and white thing of Batman comics from back in the day that my grandpa hooked me up with. And
That's a really funny phrase. Yeah, my grandpa hooked me up over here.
He was the one that kind of fostered like the nerdiness. He's like big into UFOs and that whole thing, so he's an oddball kind of guy.
I love that.
I think your grandpa and I would get along really well.
Yeah. Is he single?
He would too. Yeah. I don't know where I put it. I'm like looking in my room.
Made me crack up. That's awesome. So back in the day, before he moved to Hollywood, Robert Kirkman was a good old Kentucky boy. He lived in Cynthiana, and he would hang out at my local comic book store. And I used to have a podcast in 2005. So my buddy and I asked him to be on our podcast, and he came and hung out with me in my basement. And like, he was looking at my Transformers collection, and he was like, "Oh shit, man, you have a lot of Transformer toys." And I was like, "Yeah, you like Transformers?"
He called you a fucking
Obviously
nerd.
he does. Obviously he does. And this was back in the day, right? Like, it was just cool to have him there and interview him. And it was our first like interview with somebody that wrote comic books. And he wasn't big. He had only written like Battle Pope at that time, and he was about to start writing Walking Dead. And yeah, it was really cool. Like, just to kind of hang out with a guy that kind of blew up. Now I don't think he, like, anybody that moves out of Kentucky even admits they lived in Kentucky. Like, all these dudes that lived in Kentucky, like Johnny Depp, they're like, "Man, I didn't live there. I lived there for like a year, maybe." They just disowned Kentucky. What about you, Tessa? What was your first comic book? What got you into comics?
I casually looked it up when you first asked the question, just in case it came around to me, because I was like, I don't remember which one it was.
You have it on your phone?
Well, I catalog my comics obsessively. I'm a nerd. So I had to look at what number it was because I haven't touched it since like, I mean, back then I reread it a million times, but it was Flash 150 from the 90s that like Mark Twain run. Yeah.
Wow, that's really freaking cool. That was your first issue?
Whoa! Oh no. Yeah. Did that get
What
me
made
out?
you
No, it didn't.
what made you pick that up? There it is.
There we go.
What made you pick that up?
I don't know how I did that. I asked my dad for $1 and it was the book I could get.
Okay.
I was always
enough.
interested in comics, but when I was younger, comics are for boys, I can't be into that kind of stuff. That's for boys, that's not for girls. So I just like always wanted them, and my parents were always kind of like, nah. And so when I was older, I was just walking around with my dad as like a teenager, and I was like, I don't have any cash on me. Can I have $1? I want to buy this. And my dad gave me $1 and I got Flash 150. And I think my second comic was Flash 160. And then later on I got Robin Year One, the Chuck Dixon book. And that's what when I was a little kid, I had a crush on Robin from Batman 66. I thought he was cute. And I used to watch all those episodes, and now then I just like started delving into that stuff.
Are you talking about the actor Burt Ward?
Hell yeah, I am. The man who does stuff to save dogs now? Yeah. I'm proud of that one. I picked well.
I'm sure you know this, right? Like the legend of Burt Ward.
No,
I know it.
horrible. Am I not gonna be proud of that one?
Like, I knew as soon as I said the legend that is Burt Ward, somebody was going to be like, yeah, we know. Okay. Apparently, he had to wear those really tight shorts, right?
Oh, this or that.
Okay, yeah, okay. So you know the legend of Burt Ward. Okay.
I got so scared that you were gonna be like, yeah, he actually is like super racist and awful. And I was
I wasn't gonna say that's nothing legendary about.
I didn't know it was gonna be good. I got scared. I got scared.
They got put racist and legend in the same category.
Like in a bad way, I don't know.
No, yeah. Thank you,
scared.
Doom, for yeah, just laying it out there. Okay. Drew, what about you, brother? What was your first comic book?
February 1994, War Machine #1.
Wow.
Why
Was it the gimmicky cover?
No, it was. I mean, I was 6, so I was there was a comic book and card shop in a place near where I lived, and my older brother was getting into Magic, and so he would go to this place to pick up Magic cards, and they would have like the shelves for new comics. And when I was just bored while he was looking for his Magic cards, I started flipping through. And if you've read War Machine #1, there's like this big double page spread of like Rhodey is imagining what he could do as War Machine, and he's like basically just like blasting through every single major villain from Marvel at the time, and he's like shooting a laser beam through the gut of, I think, Green Goblin, and the leader is getting his hand blown off, and I was just like, oh, this is so cool. So I just like begged to get it, and then because I got that, my brother was able to get a comic, and he got, I think, Wolverine #80. It's from the Larry Hama run.
The black and white cover.
It's not the black and white cover. It might be 83.
Okay.
It's like a kind of a tan brownish orange color with Wolverine fighting the villain Cyber.
Yeah. Okay.
Very 90s. And yeah, so I read my War Machine over and over and over again, and then I read his Wolverine. And then, I mean, that was like the only comic book that I owned until a few years later, Spawn 63.
Wow.
I was really into Spawn that year. Well, I guess that was the same. Yeah, no, that was 94. So 97, the Spawn movie came out. I was really into Spawn as a concept when I was a kid, but like, I obviously didn't know the source material. I was a child. Like at that point I was 9. And, but I do remember getting Spawn 63, green cover, Al Simmons on the front, face repaired, big guns and worms. I just remember. Yeah, I remember that cover very well. But I didn't start reading regularly until I was an adult. 2008 is when I like Batman RIP was like the first stuff that I started reading regularly. And then it just
whoa,
kind of
that's some
there.
heavy Grant Morrison reading.
Yeah, and I didn't know what I was getting into. I just saw I walked into the comic shop that I now work at, and I saw the banner across the top, and I was just like, that they're gonna kill Batman. I got to know about that. And so yeah, it was so I didn't realize how cerebral it was going to be and how much it was going to be pulling from the Silver Age, and I knew nothing about the Silver Age at all. Still really don't. And yeah, so it was just being thrown into the deep end, I guess.
And it's been reading comics since then, 2008?
Every week since 2008. Yeah.
Dude, that's wonderful. I love hearing about people coming into comic books as adults. Like, it's really cool to see comments on my videos that are like, oh my God, I used to read this stuff as a kid and now I can get it in a book format and keep it on my shelf. But I really love the comments that like people that come in as adults and start reading comics for the first time, because it gives me hope that anybody can just start reading comic books. And I think that's great.
I am very much a proponent of the idea that like there is a comic book for every single person. It doesn't matter what you're into. There is a book for you. No matter your tastes, if you're looking for something that's like high art, that exists. If you're looking for something that's, you know, very pulpy, obviously that exists. I'm telling you, the book talk girls who are into like the romantasy, there are comics for them, and they're so close to like that becoming their next obsession, you know.
Yeah, you got Sunstone, you got Lovesick.
Yeah,
You Love the Dark if you're a monster girly.
Yeah, I would. There's so much crossover between those two fandoms, and I know it, and it's just waiting to be discovered by a lot of people, and I think that's really cool. I think we get to a point where we do this so often, and we read so many comics that like the magic of discovering a new comic is sometimes a little, you know, it's gone. Which is a bummer because like I still remember being 6 years old and reading War Machine #1 and just being so enthralled by it, you know, and it kind of sucks to grow up and lose that feeling. But imagine how many adults out there can have that feeling, you know.
My brother is getting into comics right now, and I'm kind of seeing that. I'm seeing his love. He's like literally walking the dog, and he's walking around with the Green Lantern trade, like reading at the same time.
It's
like,
so cool. Like I love when people discover there's more than superheroes. Like that's
the next thing. Yeah.
It opens up such a world for, I remember like my first real like non-superhero comic love was Scalped from Vertigo. And to this day, that's like my favorite crime comic. I just think that it is so incredibly like, it's so good. And I'm glad that DC is now publishing it again. Like they're putting out, they put out an omnibus, I think, of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because I want two of them. Okay.
Might be two volumes.
Yeah, it's like 75 issues, so it'd have to be. I'm so glad that book like seems to be getting attention again.
Wait, of what? Of Scalped?
Scalped, yeah.
No, it's not an omnibus. I think it's
Yes,
like
it is.
It's newer. I think it's newer.
You ain't questioning the uncanny Omar when it comes to omnis, and I
have it. It's right there.
I have them in my stores. Yeah.
Oh, Scalped. I thought you said Scalped. That makes more sense.
Oh,
yes,
gotcha.
you're right. Got you. Sorry, that's on me.
Yeah, I love that book. I think that I use excerpts from that in my classroom to teach like how to read comics as literature, so that we're not just like looking at the pictures and thinking that they're pretty, but we're actually like, what does this picture, how do we look at this set of panels the same way that we would like, all the literary elements and stuff in a text novel. It's one of the only books that's ever like made me, just sit and weep in a pizza restaurant when I was eating a couple slices. It's fantastic.
I think something you said really spoke to me when you said that, the more you read it, the more you read comics, it's like the magic is less and less. I don't know. I think, to me, every year I do my top 10 like reads of the year. And every year I find something new and wonderful about comic books. And it's not just like outside of superhero stuff. Like, holy shit, Absolute Wonder Woman is one of the best comic books I've read in a long time. The Ultimates by Denise Camp is freaking killer. So it's also like a reminder of just how much story there's still to tell. Because yes, you do eventually, you're like, man, I've read everything. I remember when Civil War was coming out, I was like, I've already read this shit. It was called the Mutant Registration Act. I've already been through this. What are we doing? And it was always this theory within like DC and Marvel that every 7 years they would recycle the same story over and over because they were always getting new readers every 7 years. I don't know if that's still true or not, but eventually you do feel like you've read everything. But then there's just so much out there that it's still amazing to discover new things. And then people suggest things to you and you're like, oh, I haven't even thought about reading that. So yeah, every year there's something there to find.
I'll say that I had that feeling today when I read.
What did you read?
I read Absolute Evil. And I mean, a big thing for me is I think superheroes are best when we get to use them as a way to interpret the real world. And Absolute Evil is very much like the Absolute Universe in general. And I think also the new Ultimate Universe is kind of, we're seeing this sort of reinterpretation of what's going on in the world around us, mainly with everybody seems to be kind of waking up to a certain level of class consciousness. And so that's why these books are focusing on that so much. And reading Absolute Evil today, I got to see, there's a story about villains where the villains truly believe that they are the epitome of justice. And the only reason they think that is because they're rich. And so as I was reading that, I was just like, this is just a reflection of what's happening to us around, in the real world. And it was just like, man, who knew that like silly superhero comics can do this? But that's what they're best for.
When I was a teenager, I tried reading V for Vendetta. And I immediately was like, I don't get it. I don't get the praise for this book. I loved Watchmen. I loved Alan Moore's Swamp Thing, but V for Vendetta was like, nope, not for me. So I stopped reading comics when I got out of high school, and then I came back in 2002, 2003, and I was getting more and more into collected editions. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna give it a try. Maybe it will speak to me differently. I'm in my 20s now, and I was like, man, I don't get it. There's a movie, and maybe I like the movie more. I read it last year when they maybe 2 years ago when they reprinted the Absolute edition. And maybe it's because I'm older. Man, that book's just so deep and philosophical and just so true to life. Like, it's crazy. And I think sometimes with comic books, just like I'm sure sometimes with books, you just have to be like a certain age or be at a certain part of your life where it will really speak to you. So that's a book that I've read 3 times, that 2 times before I was like, this is stupid. Not for me. I don't get the praise. But then reading it in my 40s, I was like, man, this is amazing. how did I not like pick up on this stuff when I was younger? It's crazy. You bringing that up reminded me of V for Vendetta. Like legit reminded me of V for Vendetta.
We used to do so I used to teach a course called media literacy at my job, and for the second quarter, it was just a semester long course, but for the second quarter we would read V for Vendetta and not just look at like the way that like media as a, is used in the book, but really just like look at, this book is very British. It almost requires you to understand how England works and the history in England and a lot of culture of England. And then we would compare it to the movie, which is the movie uses British characters and takes place in England, but it's American. It's very American.
Oh, it's very Wachowski. It was a Wachowski twins, right?
Yes, the Wachowskis wrote it, and they, clearly were trying to draw a comparison to like the War on Terror and the Bush years and stuff like that. And I think that a lot of that is detrimental to the film, but it is also really interesting to compare one that is clearly for a British audience versus an adaptation that's clearly for an American audience, and try to find the similarities and the differences and how it speaks to different cultures and stuff like that. And I think V for Vendetta is just like a really fantastic way to have that conversation.
Yeah, I agree.
I did a video on TikTok recently where I was talking about like what I thought were the most important post 9/11 superhero films.
Mm-hmm.
And I said that like Dark Knight is probably the first truly post 9/11 superhero movie. And some people pushed back on that. And some, people were like, oh, Iron Man came out a couple months before, and it's clearly influenced by the War on Terror, which is totally true. But somebody said V for Vendetta, and I was just like, I didn't even think about that, because to me, that's not a superhero story. But if you've only seen the movie, it
sort of is.
They filmed it like a superhero movie. They but the book is not a superhero story at all. It's just, I don't know. Comics are wild, man.
They are. I mean, what was the big show last year? Eternaut, right? Like Eternaut was a huge Argentinian comic book. Like the creator got killed. Like it's a big like statement on the political movement that was happening. And the Netflix series kind of blew up, and they're now Fantagraphics is finally reprinting Eternaut. And if you haven't read that one, that one's another masterpiece too that I completely suggest. When you say comics are wild, it kind of reminds me of that. Like people die for their art sometimes, and that was the case in Eternaut, which is really sad. But I think it speaks to volumes as to how powerful these stories are. It's really freaking amazing. And then you have a whole new generation of people finding out that there's more stuff out there than just, but even superhero comics are in that way too. Like God Loves, Man Kills is one of my favorite comic books of all time. Probably the best X-Men comic ever written, which is found in that third omnibus, Samantha.
It's very good.
Which I wanted to go back to. Like it's such a powerful message about, Jesus, if it was written today, people would be throwing a fit about like the villain, right? Like, oh, you're villainizing religious people, and like they're totally missing the point. But it was written at that time when people were saying that about Chris Claremont. They were saying you're villainizing Christianity. And oh my gosh, the message in that is just so powerful. Like to me, it's just the perfect superhero comic. I
always wish that Marvel made absolutes so that there could be an absolute version of that book.
There is a gallery edition, and believe me, I've tried to push for absolutes, and they were like, it's not really the Marvel way. And I'm like, I kind of wish it was. But yeah, that's a good one. And God Loves, Man Kills is in that, From the Ashes. Yeah, I love X-Men Omnibus Volume 3. It's one of the best ones. What's your favorite comic book of all time? Linz, give me your favorite comic you've read so far, and why?
Silver Surfer Black. Why?
Yeah.
Oh,
Silver Surfer Black because it was your first one?
No. Well, because I love Silver Surfer. But I just love how like philosophical he is. And I think that book. Well, again, there's a specific page that really just connects with me, you know. But yeah.
Silver Surfer Black. Okay. Tessa, best comic book you've ever read, or you can give me your top 3.
Many Deaths of Lila Star is my favorite.
That's a good one.
Which one?
I think The Many Deaths of Lila Star.
Oh my God, Ron V. I got to hang out with the artist,
Felipe Andrade.
Yeah, we were in Germany together, and we were having. I had no idea he spoke Spanish, and I'm like, oh, I forgot that everybody.
That's a book I want a piece of original art from.
Everybody in America's outside of America speaks like 4 different languages. But man, he was such a cool guy. Okay, that's a good book. Good job. What else you got?
Thank you. I feel like it is one of the best modern usages of actually like the periodical format, the way that I feel like that book almost breathes better if you wait in between each issue to read it, because there's a lifetime basically that happens between each issue. Like, I like that one.
So that's your favorite one.
It used to be Pride of Baghdad for a long time. That was my first favorite.
Oh God, that one rips your heart out and stomps on
see, that's what I want. I want to feel things. Make me feel things.
Have you read Day Tripper?
I've been told to a million times. I never have.
It's coming back to print in absolute format, Tessa.
Fabio Moon, right? Did I get that right?
Fabio Moon.
I have it. I just haven't read it.
Oh my God. I lost my dad last October.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And now that book means so much more to me. Oh my God. That book, that and God Country means so much more to me after losing my dad. It's like, you know, you read comic books for so long, they become a part of you, and now you start thinking about them in a different way. But yeah, I think you would like you, and you've read God Country, right?
Yeah, and I've been told multiple times that like Day Tripper is something I specifically would like by people in my life. Like the few people who I have around me that read comics, they're like, you need to read this. Like, this is art. You'll love this. And I just haven't yet.
Yeah, you would like it. Yeah, and I love Layla Starr. I'm with you. That was a wonderful, beautiful book. Batmantha, best comic book. Or you can say 3.
Easy. No, I only need one. Daredevil by Brian Michael Bendis.
Ooh.
The whole run, the whole thing. The whole
thing. I'm not good at explaining why I like things.
It's okay.
But it was just the feeling I got reading it. Like every issue was just exciting. I remember just not wanting it to end. Like I'd be like fist pumping and like, come on, like screaming at like while I was reading it. And I've never had that with anything. Like I think about that question a lot when people ask, what is one movie you'd like to watch again for the first time, or what is one book you'd like to read for the first time? For me, it's Daredevil by Brian Michael Bendis. If like I've never felt anything like that. Like reading it, it's my favorite, I guess, form of media I've ever consumed.
Oh my God, I love hearing that.
I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love it. I think it's a you can give that run to anyone who's not a fan of comic books or not into superheroes, and I think that would turn them around. It's a masterpiece.
And without spoiling anything, that ending that leaves like Ed Brubaker, who asked for an ending like that, like in such a like little corner, like what do I do with the character now? Oh my gosh, it's so good. Yeah, it's solid. Cody, give it to me, baby. What do you got?
You know, it's funny because when I made my short list here as we were talking, I did put Daredevil by Bendis on my short list.
Okay.
That's like a more recent, like eye-opening sort of read, kind of having the same emotions that Samantha's talking about here. So that's on the short list for sure. I'd also put Maze Book by Jeff Lemire. That one just hit me.
Oh man, you got oh my God, you got a kid, and oh dude, that rips your heart out.
Yeah, right. That's a very emotional read there. I think my favorite of all time though has got to be Gotham Central. I loved Gotham Central.
What a great answer, Cody. We just became best friends.
Just like the concept of it, like the day shift, night shift sort of thing. The coolest look at like that street level Gotham City look that we, all the superheroes jumping on the rooftops and stuff, but love that ground floor level sort of look at Gotham. Very cool. So yeah, my favorite's probably got to be Gotham Central. Yeah.
Excellent pick. I love that book.
Yep.
I love that you came in with 3. You were like, man, I'm ready. I wrote these down while everybody was talking.
It's a tough question. I was trying to think too, because for single issues, I probably have some good answers for single issues, but
Ooh,
they're not coming to mind. I'm just like looking around my collected
dude.
editions. This is sort of the list I came up with. but
Batman Annual 2 and then Poison Ivy, Swamp Thing, Feral Trees. They're on my
That was
my shrine.
recent too, wasn't that one just
Tessa
came out?
came in
recently.
with some single issues. Those aren't old either.
They're
That's
gorgeous.
not Silver Age.
They're good, man. I love Lee Weeks. I would die for that man. I swoon over him so hard.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his art.
Oh, God.
Love his artwork. Drew, what do you got, dude? What are some of your favorite comics, or you just say your first, like your
Well,
very-
I am gonna weigh in on the single issue thing. My favorite single issue ever is Daredevil 191.
Oh, wait. Hold on. My favorite single issue is the DC holiday special from last year. Shit,
Oh, yeah.
sorry. Fuck.
Specifically
Yeah,
the
Wait,
Secret Six
I know a
story.
guy that wrote in that issue. Is that what?
Daredevil 191.
Man,
There's
that's a
something
good one.
so cool about like Frank Miller's paneling all throughout that. I do think the story itself is very cool. The framing device of like Bullseye is in Bullseye's paralyzed, and Matt's playing Russian roulette with him and he has no say over the matter. Like, I do think it's very intense. It's a little edgy, I think, but like I think it works really well. It's just an intense story. But my favorite comic book, similar to what Samantha said, my favorite piece of fiction ever is a comic book. And I feel like to put a big asterisk here. Unfortunately, it's Sandman.
It's the best comic.
I love Sandman so much. And
Sandman's great.
I'm reluctant to talk about it in any sort of like promotional way or, like endorsing way, because I know that like, Neil Gaiman's gotten himself in hot water because of accusations and allegations. And I don't want it to seem like I'm like supportive of a person who would be doing these sorts of things. But I cannot deny that like Sandman has had such an impact on me. Like, it's made such an impact on my life to the point where I don't even really associate it with that creator anymore. It's just something I associate with myself. I love that book. I have multiple copies of every paperback of it because I just keep rebuying it, and I kept lending it out to so many people that I needed to get my own copy that wasn't destroyed. I love it.
I think, and I don't know if this might be a generational thing too when it comes to these things. Like for me, like once it's part of the zeitgeist, it kind of like belongs to me, right? So whether it's music, and also, I'm in my 40s. Like we sang and danced to Michael Jackson while we knew things were going on with Michael Jackson, and that was just the generation I grew up in. And I think when it comes to Sandman, there were more people involved with that than just Neil Gaiman.
For sure,
And I understand where you're coming from, though, because it is sometimes difficult to talk about because people like to, say, hey, maybe you shouldn't talk about Neil Gaiman. But I think there are issues in there that really speak to people to this day.
Yeah, I mean,
powerful issues.
Yeah, there's regardless of anything that he may have done, he is a talented writer. Maybe there's something to be said about the correlation between those two things. I don't know. I feel like that's a conversation that people want to have on the internet. I don't know if that's true or not. Sandman has legitimately altered the way that I thought about the world.
I'm with you.
In the ways that only the best fiction can. I love it. I love it so much.
Sandman and I always think that like the reason that like I don't support people who I feel like do bad things is just like, oh, there's so many other things I can give my money to, so many other creators I'd like to support. There's so many other things that'll be like this, but Sandman is so unique. Like it's not like, oh yeah, there's just there's you can read so many other Daredevil stories. Why don't you just grab a different one? This one's just no. This is such an impactful piece of media.
I think it becomes really difficult too, like because separating the artist from the art. I always let my viewers decide. Like if I know something, I'll let them know, and then they can decide whatever they want to do with their money. But I think it becomes difficult when it's such a group project.
Yeah.
And you're reading JLI right now. Eventually, you're going to get to those issues by a certain creator that served prison time.
And you're right. Comics are such a
And
collaborative medium.
it's like, and DC printed them. So it's like, what do you do? Do you just keep enjoying the stories for what they are? I think of like, what was it? Kenshin, the mangaka of Kenshin that like paid a $85 fine because of certain things they found on his computer. And the same thing happened here to the creator of JLI, and he served prison time. But it's a different country with different laws, and this still prints all that stuff without saying a damn word about what the creator did. So it's one of those things. Like I think Sandman will forever be in print. I don't think DC will ever say anything. I did see that Dark Horse took a stance against printing new things, and that is their every right to do. Just like it's DC's right to pull anything that has Gaiman in it. So it is interesting to see. What's that?
To be that like that person with a dark perspective, I think things will also change once he's dead.
I think that's true too.
Because then no one cares about supporting it if the money's not going to him, kind of thing. So
I'll say too, that brings up an interesting conversation. I don't know how much time we have, but Samantha, you brought up Tom King's Batman, and there's a very rabid fan base who wants people to not support Tom King because of his job before he was a comic book writer.
Yeah, I've seen this show up.
Say what?
I have seen this show up in my chats or in my comment section whenever I'm doing an overview of the book. Yeah, because I just stick to the topic of whatever.
On Comic Talk, it's like the Tom King hate is crazy on Comic Talk.
They're very loud.
Okay.
Yeah, and I often I've pushed back against it. For one, because I think that that's a much more nuanced conversation than people really want to believe that it is. But also, criticism or interpretation of a book of literature is not the same thing as interpretation or criticism of the person who made it. And so I'm very much trying to look at how the book is presented, what it does on a literary perspective, what actually the message is embedded into the book, and using only the book as a way to support my interpretation of it. And people always want to bring in, no, this can't be right because the writer is this way, and I'm just like, well, that's not the same thing. Those are two different conversations, and maybe one can inform the other.
For sure,
but that's not how what I'm doing works. It's a whole thing. Somebody asked me the other day, who do you think is the best writer currently working in comics? And I said, this was on TikTok Live, and I was just like, I'm not going to answer that because it's going to be annoying. And then he goes, oh, I got my answer then.
Linz, do you see anything when you're doing TikToks like that whenever you're talking about writers, or do you talk about the actual stories?
Well, I do see it. I see it going around, yeah.
Okay. And I don't know how it is on TikTok. On YouTube, people have kind of relaxed for the most part whenever they see a video pop up that has a, whatever is going on, and whether it has a creator that has problematic issues going on or an artist, because I think they know that I'm just mainly focusing on the story and the art. I don't know how it is on TikTok when you all talk about these things, though. And I don't know if it pops up if they want you to take a stance, or because it used to be like that on YouTube.
Yeah, I think it really depends on the age of the viewer, because somebody your age is probably not going to be as focused on something like that. Whereas like somebody who is, you know, younger than we are.
You're right.
Someone who wasn't born in the 1800s. Yeah.
Okay, chill, Tessa. You got people my age that are bitching about like, hey, give me the whole racial slur without freaking censoring it in a comic book. You're right. It is a big difference.
And younger
and that's
people,
legit, not joking. I'm not even joking. They want the comic book the way it was written, the way it was originally printed. That's what they care about.
Yeah. And I think, you know, a lot of younger people are much more idealistic. They, you know, they view the world a certain way, and that's just, you know, that's just how young people are, right? I was that way when I was young, and I get it and I understand it, but I think that they have the energy to be more vocal about it, and that's really what it comes down to. Is, you know, I often like have to kind of curb myself when people, because I'm like, you know, have you ever seen that episode of Parks and Recreation where Ann Perkins makes this very wrong reference to Game of Thrones, and Adam Scott's character, like Ben, has to go, oh, I don't even have enough time to tell you how wrong you are, and then after a beat is just like, actually it's going to bother me if I don't. I feel like that's my personality very often. So when people are trying to like pick arguments with me, it works. And I don't mean to be that way. And then like, I have to think to myself, I'm probably arguing with a 16-year-old right now.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, you're also a teacher, so I'm sure you probably see that too. Like when it comes to perhaps some of the things that you have to read in school. Well, then again, I don't know what the curriculum is anymore in school. I know back.
Yeah, I mean,
just about everything.
Not as often as you'd think. The kids would have to read it to be opposed to it, to know what's in it. So they don't. That's a joke. Yeah, I've seen stuff like that before, but it's not nearly as much as like kids on TikTok who get to be anonymous, and you know, they don't want to have a conversation. They just want to be right.
Yeah, dude. And people even my age and older will also complain that there's a warning, like for these are products of their time. And I was like, whoa, okay, now we're getting too picky. I'm like, I'm okay with a warning. You know, that's fine. Like,
yeah,
people know, sure.
Do you remember? Did any of you read Gotham City Year One?
The Tom King book, right?
Yeah, the Tom King book. And on the in the opening page, like there was something that said like, "Hey, in the interest of authenticity, in the interest of authenticity, there are some words in here that are relevant to the time period that people may find offensive, but you know, and that's a new book." And I thought that was a classy way to do that. But I know that there are some people who are just like, well, why do you need to write that in your book? And
yeah, would you rather not have the issue collected? That's always my argument. I'm like, I'd rather have a little warning than not have things collected in the way that they were doing it. Yeah.
I watched Peter Pan for the first time recently, and it was on Disney Plus. And so in the beginning, it said like, we haven't changed this because that feels like disingenuous to the time or whatever, but let us know, like, you know, there are several depictions in here that we wouldn't do now. And so it's not really, so I thought that was a really good way to do that, because if you start just hiding stuff, then you're getting rid of history.
I think that I think that stuff's good because it shows that the company is not ignoring it and like recognizing, hey, like this is.
Sorry about that.
I don't have any idea what just popped up.
No, that was Matt just having fun with Photoshop. But I'm with you.
I'm gonna be my friend.
I like that. I think that's a good idea of doing it instead of not. Like, people have been wanting those early Detective Comics to be collected. There were 2 Omnis announced about 6-7 years ago, and then before Batman, right? And what was the other book? The oh my gosh, it's the monster book, the Shazam book, Captain Marvel book. And like, I think the third time they canceled it, DC was like, well, we're never gonna print this. It's not gonna happen. Like, even with a warning, like we can't. Which is just like, to a lot of people, is like, whoa, you're never gonna print this book. And it's the same thing that like Fantagraphics is dealing with right now, with censoring some of the stuff like from Karl Barks and the Don Rosa Duck books. And I find that to be really interesting because of what Tessa said and what Drew said about, like, I think just having a little warning, letting you know these are products of their time, and not to see them through the lenses of today. I think that's all you really need.
I'm curious, Samantha, in New Zealand, I assume that the books that you're buying, are they imported from like the United States, or are they printed in New Zealand?
Oh no, they're printed wherever they're printed. What?
Yeah,
like if you look at her shelf, she has
Turkey, or, I don't know, China. Oh, okay.
So she has DC books and Marvel books like that,
Yeah.
are like American Omnis and Epic collections.
So I mean, do you have people like in New Zealand who are also kind of like younger people who are having this sort of reaction to media, and, you know, like almost applying a certain level of purification to it?
Like wanting things censored?
Yeah, or like, you know, oh, like this person shouldn't be allowed to make these books because of their past, or things like that.
Yeah, but I don't pay much attention to it, because my thinking is always just there's always going to be someone that's upset about it, and I don't know.
Yeah,
A good book is a good book. A good song, as Omar said, referencing Michael Jackson, a good song is a good song.
Yo, Michael Jackson still hits, man, to today, like legit.
Yeah, like good people make bad things, and bad people do good things.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think of that as a very sort of like, I think of that as a very American experience, and I don't know if it's just because I'm not cultured enough to talk to a lot of people from outside countries, but yeah, I just feel like that's very, you know, like the privilege of being American allows you to be this sort of critical. You know what I'm saying? I say that in a very like tongue-in-cheek voice, but
Well, when I was asking about TikTok, I mean, TikTok is everywhere, right? Like, so I thought, like, because of the different ages that people are watching your videos, that's the kind of reaction that people are having legit all over the place, not just in America. That's why I was wondering if you all ever saw anything like that.
well, it's, you know, they kind of filter stuff by like country, so that, you know, people who don't,
okay.
So the people who don't speak English aren't necessarily like getting videos of English speakers, you know, dominating their For You pages. And I know that like in certain places, in certain countries where their media is more controlled by their states, you know, they don't want people seeing certain outside.
Like how some countries like cut out whole sections of a movie, or edit whole sections of a movie, like
Blockbuster used to do that in America. Like Blockbuster used to do that in America. They used to cut out parts of movies. Yes, and it used to piss me off. For those people that remember Blockbuster, it was this physical store that you would go and rent movies before Netflix. Just in case you were not familiar with what a Blockbuster was.
Yeah,
There's
Netflix
one still out
there
there
to rent CDs from, or DVDs from. Yeah.
Yeah, Netflix used to get DVDs, right? Yeah. And now everything is streaming. So has there been a comic book that you struggle reading through recently? Any of you that either you found boring, or you just had to push yourself to read it?
Wasn't a fan of the Deadpool.
Whoa, that's a hot take.
Is that a hot take? I don't know.
I didn't love it either.
Yeah, I just didn't grab it.
I thought it was just okay.
Smart, probably smart skipping out, I guess. It had a lot of cool covers though, but
I will say, I'm not the biggest fan of intercompany crossovers because I feel like the plot is always the same, which is I'm this hero. Oh, we must be fighting. And then we have the same villain. Let's fight them. You know, like it's always the same. But I didn't think that Batman and the Deadpool Batman crossover really had that exact same formula. And so I was kind of like, that's nice. That's nice that it's different. Also,
it's not the obvious choice, right?
Did they kiss? Are they in love now?
They do. They are. Yeah. Yeah.
Lovely.
They had a baby.
Okay.
Batman was the one who was pregnant. The Chip Zdarsky like Wonder Woman Captain America I think was the best part of that.
I
like,
hear that.
I like
by
that
a
a lot.
long shot.
That's the issue with them is a lot of these
agrees.
stories are too short, but like they should have got their own one shot almost, you know what I mean, for some of these. But but
I
yeah,
think that's what people were hoping for originally, but
right. Because when you say it's been decades between these two companies not crossing over, it's like the first one back in so long. And then that's kind of the issue we get.
Well,
it's like, okay.
I think it's just the start. I think
they announced Superman, Spider-Man today.
Yeah, they're doing
that. Okay, I didn't know if that. I thought they were saving that for. I saw there was like gossip about that. I didn't know if it was.
They officially announced it today. It'll come out next year for the 50th anniversary of the original
issue. Okay. Did they say the art? Did the creative team attach there? Maybe that's the announcement for New York Comic Con.
No, I'm sure that'll come out. Yeah.
Give you that hot retailer gossip with the announcements on Wednesday.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I thought I saw the rumored creative team on that, but I forget.
Wasn't Hickman rumored to be part of that?
Didn't Rob Liefeld spill the beans about this about a month ago?
I think
Rob
he hinted to somebody.
A lot of things.
Yeah.
I don't think he did it on purpose. Linz, you've read a lot of Silver Age. Have you ever
Jim Lee, Dan Mora, maybe anyway,
any of it?
Wait, have I what?
Have you struggled to like read some of it, or what was the comic book that you're like, man, this is not good, or I am struggling to finish this?
Surprisingly, no. Like I'm actually invested. I think before because I've read some of this stuff before, and I have back then. I feel like it was harder, but now like this time around, maybe because I have a whole checklist that it's satisfying to like check it off once I've read it.
Check it off. Okay.
But it's a lot easier to get through it this time. I don't know, and I think it's fun.
What's an issue you've struggled with? What's a comic you've struggled with that you were like, this isn't that good and I need to finish it?
I think it's Strange Tales where it focuses on Human Torch only. Strange Tales, I think. I think those I'm like, okay. I wish it was just the whole Fantastic Four. Those I'm like, I guess. But it's still fun. Because the Fantastic Four still like cameo, at least in the issues some of the issues I read, they've cameoed. But I would say out of all of them, that one maybe is the hardest.
As I'm asking this question, are you all the type of readers that need to finish the issue no matter how bad it is? Because I am.
I'm busy.
You're busy. Okay, I like that.
I'll like maybe mean to finish it, but it's gonna get pushed aside. And
I am so bad. Like I do the same thing with movies. Like I'm watching a shitty movie and I know it's shitty from like 15 minutes in, and I will be like, "Nope, I'm invested. I'm invested. I'm going all the way in, baby."
You stay awake for all of your movies, Omar? You don't ever fall asleep?
I don't fall asleep. I mean, I'm a firm believer in naps,
man.
but I've been a firm believer in naps since I was in my 20s. What were you saying, Drew?
I won't say what it was because I don't want to sound like I'm like talking bad about a specific creator, but there was a Batman issue that it was a special issue and it was written by somebody who's normally an artist, and they were doing both art and writing for like one of the first times in their career. And I remember on the title page of the issue, so this had to be like the second page, it shows Joker and he's standing under a sign that says Gotham City Zoo, and there's like animal enclosures all around, and there's two henchmen. It clearly takes place at the zoo. And somebody says to Joker, it's amazing that we were able to pull off this heist here at the Gotham City Zoo. And I was like, I'm done. I don't need to read the rest of this. He's like, nope.
So you stop. Okay.
I immediately stopped. Like
that's what it feels like reading Golden Age stuff. Like
honestly,
Captain America.
Do you know what?
I had to stop
recently-
reading it.
I'm
You
gonna
know what
call it
recently
Red
has
Skull
been a
now.
huge struggle for me, and I was so excited to read it, and then I was like, "This isn't for me." Jack Kirby's Fourth World.
Okay, wait. How far did you get though?
I don't remember.
Because I will be honest with you too, like those Jimmy Olsen issues were rough.
It.
And
I mean,
that's where it starts. Those Jimmy Olsen issues, and once he gets into his story, though, it's pretty good. But
so when I say Fourth World, I was reading specifically New Gods,
okay,
and
so there is this whole belief that without Stan Lee, Jack Kirby is not as great.
I am firmly 100% in the camp of Jack Kirby is the greatest comic book artist of all time, especially when it comes to superheroes. Like, you will never hear me argue against that.
Mhm.
But I do think that like his dialogue is really clunky a lot of the time. And I know that that's a product of the time, but there are a lot of issues where there's just a lot, like the dialogue just doesn't read well for me. And a lot of it is all dialogue. And so like,
oh, but yeah, you don't like a lot of Silver Age. And I feel like a lot of Silver Age is that way, where it's just
and
way too much dialogue that's way too clunky.
That's
so yeah, I'm not a big fan of DC Silver Age. As a matter of fact, I've stated on my channel many times that my DC really begins post Crisis on Infinite Earths. But I feel like Kirby stuff gets a pass because it's just, I don't know. To me, I liked it, but I do know there is a struggle there, and I know there are people that don't like it, and they're like, "Oh my God, this is what Jack Kirby was like without Stan Lee." Obviously, people that are saying it was Jack Kirby 99% and 1% Stan Lee have not read a Jack Kirby comic.
People in the chat hate you right now, Drew.
Yeah, I was gonna say you are getting.
I know, and I
You feel
know
betrayed. They're not like you're stupid.
You thought
They're
it was
like,
Tom
wow.
King that was going to take you down, but it was Jack Kirby. All along.
I listen, like I said, I will sing the praises of Jack Kirby all day. His ideas are awesome. I just think that the execution sometimes leaves a lot for 2025 me to be desired.
I do love the fact that you even said that he is the greatest artist ever, and that
He's
still
the
doesn't
greatest
like,
artist.
like, nope, that's not good enough, motherfucker.
He's the greatest artist, and he's such an idea man. But yeah, the dialogue is just like,
You have one person on your side, and everyone's trying to ban him now too.
No, John's
yeah,
an old
Whatever,
soul,
bro.
too.
Whatever, bro, is such a funny comment. Whatever, bro.
I wanted to love it so much, and it just wasn't.
Now,
I couldn't finish the book.
Did you want to love it because it got such high praise, or you just love Jack Kirby? And
It's a little of both. I mean, honestly, a little of both. Like, clearly, it's foundational to a lot of the stuff that I really like. But you know, I've also seen Citizen Kane, and I'm never going to watch that movie again.
Did you teach film? You teach film studies, and you don't have to show it?
No.
Oh, I get you. I got you.
No, you can. I mean, it's, you know, I think this is a great analogy because, like, Citizen Kane clearly, like, revolutionized film. Jack Kirby clearly revolutionized comics.
No, but, I 100% agree with you. Like, whenever we're talking about comic books, that, like, whenever we do our evergreen streams, one of the hardest sells to people is to keep these, like, Silver Age stories in print when you have all these new modern takes on these characters that do, you know, the job of getting people hooked. Yeah.
I mean,
I didn't know there were Citizen Kane fans.
Citizen,
I like Citizen Kane too, but I was like, I get what he's saying. Thank you, Margarita. I appreciate that.
That says, what else does Drew hate? Clean air and pies too, and that just got me.
Fuck pies.
Yeah, thank you. Me too. I'm not a fan either. Cody, you already said what you struggled through. Batmantha, what have you struggled through?
Well, I'm sort of like you, Omar. I mean, the Saladin Ahmed run that's just finished was pretty rough to get through. But I'm like you, like I read from start to finish. That's just how I like to do things. I guess
That's right.
recently I found the Ant-Man, the first Epic collection, to be quite difficult to get through. I mean, it was fine, but it was, I see why people would say it's a slog, but it was fine.
Those early X-Men issues are a slog. I always warn people about
Yeah.
those two.
I haven't read
They're not
those.
great.
Good journey.
I don't know. I guess there's one series that I really wanted to like, and it was like my most anticipated book. I couldn't wait to read it. I was so excited, and it just wasn't for me. And that was Department of Truth.
I struggled through that first
Yeah.
trade paperback too, and I remember somebody told me to stick with it, and I read the hardcover, which has the second arc.
That's
and
a
I thought,
dense series. There's
it
a lot
is.
going
It
on
is.
there.
But I think you almost have to be a little too much into conspiracy theories and like believing in monsters and stuff to really enjoy it, which I totally am. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna stick with it and see what comes out of this. But I ended up
I was so disappointed that I just didn't like it, because I was so excited to read it. I couldn't wait to read it, and yeah, it just wasn't for me.
Okay.
Oh, thanks, Josh. I'll go back to it. The reason I asked this is because there's so many comics out there that people have hyped up for so long that I wonder, like, after so many years, does it impact your take on something? Like, I think of like Jonathan Hickman. Like, there's stories that I love that I know I've hyped up on my channel, and I try not to. I try to stay neutral when doing overviews of books that are coming out. I think I've got it down. I've been doing this for 9 years now, and I've kind of gotten the pattern down to, like, people can't really tell if I hate something or if I really like something, because I hate Identity Crisis, but I still did an overview of that book, and I don't think anybody could tell that I hated the book. But I think certain things, certain stories, certain runs get so much praise that when you read it, you're like, oh, this isn't as good as I thought. So I'm going to highlight this. I'm struggling with Starman presently. I'm almost through the first compendium, and I don't know if I can take it anymore. There was almost a divorce in this family because my wife did not like Starman. And Starman to me is like top tier comics. Like, I love Starman. James Robinson and Tony Harris. Oh my gosh, do I love Starman. But she was sweet, and for Christmas she gifted me, like, she read all of Starman. Now it could be because she read all of Starman within 2 weeks time or 3 weeks time, that she was like, I can't take any more Starman. But Starman is so special to me. I love Starman, and it almost like hurts when somebody doesn't like it, but I've learned to just let it go. So yeah, have there been runs that people have hyped up for you all that you're like, man, this isn't as good as everybody says it is?
I mean, I absolutely hated Deadpool by Joe Kelly.
Yeah, I don't like Deadpool by Joe Kelly either. And people are surprised when I say that. I don't think he's funny.
I just don't like Deadpool. Deadpool's not funny.
Like have you read Cable and Deadpool, though?
No, I don't want to.
That's where it's at. Dude, that's where it's at, though. That's really okay.
I will try it out. Like, I got the Omni, and even like reading that, I'm like, it's not for me, but it's not even an Omni that I want to sell, even though I didn't like it.
Oh, I feel that with every ounce of my being, Samantha. I've got so many books I don't like that I'm like, I can't give this away. It's part of my reading order.
I've only got one Omni that, like, I would consider selling, and that's like Flashpoint.
Because you didn't like the story, or you just didn't like the book?
Well, I've got the Jeff Johns Omnis.
Volume 3. Okay.
Yeah. And Flashpoint, I just like, I don't need this. Like,
I don't do event omnis or stuff like that because I feel like it's got a lot of stuff that I just would not care about owning, like, all the time, for the most part. So yeah, I feel that with the
As a completionist, we have a badass comment that's completionism is a prison. And I feel that as someone who is a completionist.
Oh, 100%, because there's so many loopholes.
It is.
Right? Lynn's is in a beautiful, wonderful spot right now where she's like, I'm going to read things digitally. I'm going to read one at a time. You're not like bound to anything. You're not bound to loving. You're almost there though, and you got to watch it. When you're like, I think I really like Silver Surfer and I want to own all the Silver Surfer collected editions. Here's where the mentality like happens, right? Like you're like, okay, I love Silver Surfer, but he really got his start in the Fantastic Four. So what I'll do is collect Fantastic Four and Silver Surfer, and that's it. And then you're like, wait, there was a Fantastic Four 2099 series. Is that part of the Fantastic Four? Okay, I'll try out that series with Doom 2099. It could be good. Oh, I really like this. And there was a Spider-Man 2099 series, and he was really funny in the movie, and he was a pretty cool character. So I'll check that out. And Jesus Christ, before you know it, you've got like 50,000 books, and you're like, what am I doing? That's the mentality of a collector. It's like you find loopholes. I'm envious of people like you at the very beginning that are starting like to curate your own library. It's like, what do you collect? But for me, yeah, that's what I would do at the beginning. I'm like, oh, I like X-Men, and I'm only sticking to X-Men. But you know, Wolverine.
That's what I did. I said to myself, I'm only buying Batman, and I'm only buying Daredevil, because my first Omni was the Frank Miller Daredevil Omni, and then I got suckered into buying the 3 Grant Morrison Batman Omnis because I thought that they were.
You got really suckered.
And then it just. And now this
with Daredevil though, a lot of his runs are good, so that's like a good one to start with. Like if you're
show us your shelf again. What does Flash have to do with Batman and Daredevil? God!
And now this,
dude, these ones are sick.
I love it.
Your fingers on top, dude.
My wife does not love it.
Genuinely though, like Cody, what you're saying, Cody, it's like genuinely crazy how consistently good Daredevil has been since the 1980s.
Yeah.
Hell, somebody's a DG Chichester fan besides me. I love that run too, man. Yeah. Hell yeah. I'm with you. And the Senti, DG Chichester, all those cats. Yes.
It's crazy. Like, I can't think of another superhero character, like mainstream comic book character, who has had such a consistently good run of like different creators. Like usually when you think about like something like that, it's like they were made by the same person. But
yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean they're rotating creative teams. They're going through different volumes of the character, and you can literally just be like, pick up a Daredevil book.
Yeah, and like odds are it's gonna be banging.
Yeah,
even the ones that people are divided on, like people, there are people that don't like Mark Waid's run because it's way too happy. But I love Mark Waid's run.
It's fantastic.
That issue with the Purple Children, where he is fighting depression and he's like talking to himself, and he's like, he's fighting it like one little thing at a time, and he's like forcing himself to smile. He's like, smile, Matt. Okay, that's a start. Oh my God, that hits every time.
I really need to reread the Mark Waid run, because I feel like everyone's like, yeah, it's Happy Daredevil. But when I was reading it for the first time, I was like, this is not Happy Daredevil.
It's not.
This is actually quite a depressing story.
It is. It is about fighting depression, and oh man, I love that run. And people hate on Andy
Nichols' Happy because it was bright, like the colors were bright.
Oh yeah, it was Chris Samney and who was it? Pulido and who was the
Paulo Rivera? Rivera started it, and then Chris Samney came on. I don't remember why he left the book or something, but then Samney just continued, and then they went through 2 volumes with Samney, and it's so good.
I think Daredevil is up there as one of the most well-written characters, no matter who ends up taking over his run. And I haven't read the ending of Saladin Ahmed's run. People seem really.
The art was really good.
Was it John Romita Jr., right?
No, he's doing covers. Aaron Tudor started it.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of that run. I actually really like it. It's not my favorite, but I do really like it. I get why people don't, because it is decidedly very different from other Daredevil stuff. But I've been enjoying it. I've really liked it.
So I read them in trade, and by the time I got to the third trade paperback is when things are starting to come together. So I can kind of see maybe why people are like, oh my gosh, this is taking so long to get to the point.
Oh yeah, what was it? The first story arc was like 19 parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. And I think
Yeah, I
like
thought
Tom
that's what
King
people
Wonder
that went on a
Woman.
bit long.
That's what people see. And I think that's when people are like, this is not for me. It's taking so long. I'm paying $4 a comic book and nothing's happening.
I love the idea of like Matt being a priest. I think that's cool. You know, the different sins possessing people. Like, I thought that was really fun. I think
I thought the 7 Deadly Sins was fun when it's like when it first started, and then it went 19 issues.
I mean, it did go for a long time.
I think it went a bit too long. I started to get a bit sick of it, and God, I was so happy it was over. And
he's doing a
and
mini
then I-
series, right, with the Punisher, or there's a mini series with Daredevil that
That's-
Saladin
yeah,
Ahmed is writing.
that's not Saladin Ahmed.
Oh, it's
that's,
not? Okay, I thought he was writing it.
I can't remember off the top of my head. I enjoyed a little bit more when the 7 Deadly Sins finished. When Daredevil was fighting the Last of Us creatures. No spoilers.
Okay.
But I didn't like the last issue. I thought just nothing really happened. Art was great.
You talk about this most recent one with Kingpin?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely, it's paced differently than I think what other people would do with the character. And so you're getting some issues that are just kind of like, all right, I'm going to breeze past through this. And there are some that there's more happening. I don't know. I've been enjoying it. I like it.
Go ahead, Cody.
Oh, I was just gonna say, speaking of a good recent Daredevil run, there was a Daredevil Cold Day in Hell from Charles Soule. Yeah.
Solid.
So, yep.
I feel like you're not a fan.
No, I actually, I admittedly, I'm kind of lukewarm on Charles Soule. A lot of his stuff. Not in a like I think it's bad kind of way. It's just like it doesn't work for me. But I thought that was very strong, and I really like that they did it like Marvel method. They were very open about like the scripts in the back and stuff like that. I thought that was probably a contribution to why it was so good. But man, that was really strong.
I really liked his I liked his Daredevil run, and I really liked his Darth Vader. I thought his Darth Vader was freaking awesome. Long out of print too. That one needs to come back to print. Yeah, I'm always curious what people hype up over, whether it's internet and when people finally read it, like, oh, this is such a disappointment. I gotta get the super chat from Josh. I missed it somehow. I speak for the chat. We are all glad we all grew up with Oldmar. I remember when I was young, lad of 12, finding NMC, best way to end my childhood. Thank you, Josh, for the super chat. I appreciate it. I hope it was worth it. Just 2 volumes of Bob Gale's. Yeah, it's collected in the Epic collections. I think I'm an X-Men guy. Like, I love X-Men. And X-Men to me is like being in an abusive relationship. Like, sometimes it's good, and then sometimes they forget to make you dinner. You got to microwave it yourself. Sometimes it's like, what am I even doing here, man? There's no point. There's no love being.
We have very different definitions of what an abusive relationship is.
Well, I mean, I can get darker, but I didn't want to go that route. But I don't know. At the end of the day, there's still, like, to me, X-Men stories that I enjoy that are coming out recently. I remember when House and Powers of X started, I was like, oh my God, it feels so good to be an X-Men fan, reading these things weekly. It was insane. And even some of the From the Ashes stories that I see a lot of hate for, I'm like, man, this is really good. Storm is one of the best comic books that have come out. I love that. And Lucas Wernick's artwork in that is so good. And I know we did an old reader, new reader on Fantastic Four by Ryan North. And that run has been stellar, man. I'm loving it.
The new volume is
we
good
love
too.
Ryan North.
Yeah, I haven't read the Humberto Ramos stuff because that's not collected yet, but I can't wait to read it. I'm really enjoying it. And dude, I'm a sucker for alternate realities. I don't give a crap how many times it's been done, and it's been done to death, especially with X-Men. But I still get excited over like a new look for Rogue or Wolverine or whatever. I'm like, yeah, all right, give it to me. But I think X-Men is something that I stick with, and that's something that will always be a part of who I am. I love the X-Men. Yeah. And oh man, I can't wait to play the Marvel Cosmic Invasion. That looks so
Does that have a date yet?
I thought New York Comic Con was going to be like the big drop. Maybe not. I don't know. Age of Revelation.
Can I ask everyone? Sorry, can I ask everyone what's your favorite current ongoing series that's going on right now?
It's a good question. I think for me, I really like it'd probably be something in the absolutes. Is that kind of lame? But it's probably absolute Wonder Woman is probably the number one right now. Yeah, each issue is like you gotta read it as soon as you get out of the shop kind of thing. Image Comics has a lot of good stuff too, for ongoings. Like a lot of the Ghost Machine, like Rook Exodus just came back. I love Rook, dude.
Exodus.
Hyde is my favorite. I like Hyde Street a lot.
You like Hyde Street? Yeah, that's good too.
That's what's so cool about the
homage to Silver Age books. I think that makes sense.
It's cool about the Ghost Machine is that there's like a title for everybody too. Like they're doing so many different genres. So, yeah.
Man, this is a good question because I get things through trade paperback, whether no matter what company it's for.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm usually 6 months behind. So to me, like one of my favorite reads this year, and I don't know if it'll make it in my top 10, but I absolutely love Gromit by Rick Remender. I don't know if y'all have read that.
Just got the trade. Haven't read it yet, but
you haven't read. Okay, so to me, one of my pet peeves, and I'm sure Samantha, every generation does this. Whenever they make a movie about your generation and you're watching it and you're like, we didn't talk like that. What the hell is this? That happens a lot with like Gen X and 80s movies, right? Like Stranger Things does it a lot. Dude, they got the voices down so good in Gromit. I'm like, that's the way we used to talk to each other, man. Yes, it was a lot of slander, a lot of racial slurs and all that, but that was the way we talked. And it felt real. It felt like a period piece.
Omar, what's your favorite slur?
Let's circle back.
Well played. You were paying attention. I've got a lot. No, I think it takes away from it. Like one of my biggest issues with period pieces, or movies or comics, is when they write things through the modern lens, and it feels like, okay, I know it's wrong, but that's not the way it was. That's not the way. So it seems like you're taken away from that. And I think Gromit's did it right. They did it perfectly, and I loved it. As far as like new comics, yeah, Absolute Wonder Woman I think is my favorite. I cheated, and my wife has been buying the single issues, and I'm like, I texted Kelly Thompson. I'm like, look what you did. This is the home of collected editions, and you're trying to destroy my channel. And I was in Germany, and I took a picture of like Wonder Woman over there just to show her, like, man, they're loving this everywhere. So I really like that. I was loving Spider Boy. I don't know if you all read that, the Dan Slott book.
Oh, I want to read that so bad.
It's so fun. I loved it. Ryan North's Fantastic Four was excellent. Storm has been great. I'm really enjoying that. Jen McKay's Avengers is really fun. And again, because I'm 6 months behind, I don't know if it's turned to crap recently. Ultimate Japanese Camp. Oh my God, that book is so good. I really like Ultimate X-Men, and people hated on that. And
I
was
loved
like,
Ultimate X-Men.
thank you. People bitch about wanting something different. And when we finally get something different, they're like, no, this doesn't feel like X-Men at all. Well, no shit, because that's what we wanted. We wanted something different. It is a manga.
And those
Jen
people
McCain,
could just read
Puma.
Ultimate Wolverine, you know what I mean? If they're looking for something a little bit more
Yeah,
in that
Ultimate Wolverine
classic
is
sort
okay.
of.
Ultimate
I like
Wolverine.
that too.
What's the other one? Jed McKay's Moon Knight. Every Jed McKay Moon Knight, I'm like, man, I hope they never cancel this book. It's so good. And for a while, it was a lot of DC books like Nightwing by Tom Taylor, but I think that's over and done with. I think who's the new Dan Waters writing the
Dan
new
Waters.
Dan Waters and Dexter
It's
Toy.
this might be the hottest take of the night. I think it's better than Tom Taylor's.
They're
Oh, I'm
different.
excited then.
Like most
I'm
It's-
excited.
I think it's sick. It's like a darker kind of
Waters. Dan Waters is like
Batman
Dark Patterns, dude. Dan Waters is on fire.
Yeah, my
right
buddy
now.
Crisis thinks that's the best Batman book that's ever come
I'm
out.
obsessed with Dan Waters,
Like,
dude. His
no.
Arkham book.
Dark Pattern. It might be the best Batman book on stands right now.
Yeah. I always tell people that Dan Waters writes like 90s Vertigo. And it's just like there's just something about it's gotta be because he's
I like that.
British. But
Prediction: him and Ron V are doing something Vertigo. That'll be announced, dude. Put money on that.
be cool.
I'm with you. That book
like
they did.
Ron V a lot.
You want another one hand, 6 fingers,
exactly.
but like DCified?
Oh, that
One
book
hand,
was
6
so
fingers.
good.
Do Gotham Central. Reboot Gotham
Ooh.
Central. But like Ron V taking over the night shift and Dan Waters in the day shift or some shit.
Oh, now Drew's got me thinking about Vertigo, though, man. All these obscure Vertigo characters. I mean, I'd love to see a true, like,
Shade the Changing Man.
oh god, yes, I love Shade the Changing Man. I love that, but I
Some cute
cannot
villains
believe
in
we're
this.
getting 2 omnis of Shade the Changing Man. Holy crap, that is amazing. I was thinking more like Vertigo Hellblazer. I love Vertigo.
Oh, I went too weird. My bad.
Loved it. No, Shade the Changing Man is something I always wanted. What about you, Linz? Have you read? I know you're stuck on the Silver Age, but have you read anything modern recently that you like?
You guys are talking about ongoings. I don't have.
You know,
any
Fantastic Four is still ongoing. Just saying.
Oh,
There
there goes Fantastic Storm. Also, well, on Marvel Unlimited, like the Thing series just popped up. I think what's 2 issues in actually. I was like, you usually I like to wait for like more issues to be on there, but I was like, I'll go ahead and read it, and I read those 2 issues. But apart from that, no. I mean, Ultimate Spider-Man kind of counts. That just kind of ended, right?
Dude,
No, it's still got another
3-month wait
3 or
on
4
Marvel
issues.
Unlimited is so stupid.
Oh, you gotta wait 3
Yeah, I
months?
Yeah.
It's crazy. They need to fix
Oh.
that, dude.
You want me
DC's
to
over
make-
here 1
You
month
want me to
delay.
make a
You know?
call? I'll make a call for you.
Yes,
Don't
Omar, please.
Please, Omar. I mean, Jesus. Like they want people
I
to use
actually
this
know
app or
the people
not,
that
dude.
run that app. I don't know if I didn't know there was I don't do anything digital. I get everything trade, right? So I didn't know.
So DC Infinite also has a 3-month delay, but they've got a ultra tier, and so that costs a little bit more, and then it's only like a 1-month delay.
The Ultra's worth it, though, I think, in my
I
opinion.
know so
But
many
the,
people who do that and they love it. Yeah.
the
The
Marvel
Ultra
equivalent
tier-
needs to be 1 month. I mean, I don't know what they're doing here, man.
Yes,
It's
because
crazy.
I was trying to keep up with like all the Ultimate stuff, but like just the delays, I was like, I'll just wait until it all drops. Like,
The craziest part is that sometimes you're waiting the 3 months and they don't even do it on time, dude. It's like if you're gonna stick to 3 months, it better be.
I've been
You know what I
trying to
mean?
figure out how they time that because I'm like, I don't know if it's like always the same
It's
day
some
of the
intern
week
that
or...
doesn't like hit the upload button or something. You know what I mean?
This
It's
is
like,
this is
It's
a
just one guy.
completely different language y'all are speaking. Digital. What the hell?
I love digital for when I'm traveling, like, because I also like go on a bunch of planes or whatever. Having one tablet just with some stuff downloaded is so great.
Reading at
ain't
night,
living
too,
until
on
you carry
iPad.
3 omnis in your backpack.
But I'm going to go buy a bunch of books wherever I'm traveling, and then I have to go with an empty bag and come back with it full. Okay.
I never got into reading digitally. I thought the concept was really cool. I'm like, especially at my older age, I'm like, wait, I can zoom in on a panel and make the font bigger. Yes, but I never got into digital.
I do prefer doing everything physical, especially in like, you know, all
Yeah,
stuff
you talked
like
about
video
Silver
stuff.
Age, right?
Yeah. But like, can I tell you
Also-
my favorite thing? The Stan Lee quote was because people were asking him if he was concerned about digital stuff taking over, and that
Oh yeah.
they're like, no, because I view it the same way. I view like it's boobs, you know? Like I love looking at them on a screen, but I'd rather touch them in my hand. And it's like, yeah, that's how I feel about books, man. Like, that's good. This is better.
And now Stan Lee's a hologram. How ironic.
I was
And he's
gonna say
also
that
good.
also, to be fair, I don't live near a comic shop. Like the closest one next to me is an hour away.
Oh,
So like digital just automatically like that's what makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
but
I
let's put a
think
good
it's
comment
great that
in
you're
here.
reading stuff.
The timing for Marvel Unlimited is add 3 months to a book's release date and then roll ahead to the following Monday. They're pretty consistent with it. I didn't know that. But
Okay.
that's what he
Oh,
says.
okay. That actually, if they upload everything on a Monday, I thought it would be based on like the Wednesday. You know what I mean? So maybe
Oh,
that's
makes
why
sense.
it's checking it a couple days early or something. But
I'm also
Sorry,
enjoying. Go ahead.
No, you go.
I was gonna say Dick Tracy. Somebody just mentioned it. I love.
Yeah,
Dick
Mad
Tracy.
Cave is crushing it.
Yeah, Mad
Yeah.
Cave is killing it with some of
Speed
these.
Racer,
Speed Racer,
Phantom's coming back.
Flash Gordon,
Yeah.
Flash
and
Gordon.
Oh, I want to read the Phantom so bad.
Defenders of the
The
Earth.
That's
Dynamite.
the Phantom was my
Dynamite's
thing as a
doing,
kid.
Phantom was pretty good too. That was pretty good.
Space
Dynamite.
Killed
Ghost.
everyone, but me is really cool. Vanishing Point, fucking awesome. Dark Empty Void, gorgeous.
Dark Empty Void, one of the most beautiful
Machine
books
is our
on
capital.
stands when that was coming out, dude.
Yeah. That looks so good, man.
The
I have a
black
friend of
hole
mine
in
that
Dark
bought a
Empty
piece,
Void.
like an internal piece from that because he knew it was gonna be hot.
That's cool.
What about you, Drew? What have you been reading lately? You said you had a stack of collected editions, but you're so busy reading new shit that you can't get to it. What are you loving?
My favorite ongoing is it's coming out pretty sporadically. So like the last issue came out in January and the next issue comes out. No, sorry, the last issue came out in July. And I don't know. I'm kind of behind on it. So I don't know if it actually ended. But what's the furthest place from here? That's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
I think that ended. I was
that
collecting
was that the last issue, 22?
Oh, 20. I thought it was like a 24. I thought they ended on like an even 24 or something like that. But
yeah, I mean it had a weird publishing schedule, so it kind of like
I love those creators though. Tyler Boss and Matthew Rosenberg, dude.
Yeah.
Those
Not ongoings, but the minis they're doing right now are so good. We're taking her down with us, and you'll do bad things.
I really thought the series was over because I got that trade paperback of the first volume like years ago, like maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, it like I said,
Yeah, 4 volumes in right now.
It had a really weird scheduling, like a publishing schedule, because it like the last issue came out in July, and the issue before that came out in January. So like
they only put out books in J months. I'm sorry.
Is this
like
like
it did end in 22? Yeah, you're right. You're right, Drew. It ended at it ended in July for 22, and you're right. The previous issue was in January, so yeah, it took like a 5-month.
Fine then I guess that can't be my answer. No, I really
That's
like.
a good answer though. That's a great book. I love their 4 Kids Walk into a Bank.
4 Kids Walk
so
into a Bank.
Good. Is that a hardcover, Omar?
Yeah, they have a hardcover.
Yeah,
I got the trade. I want that hardcover. So good, dude.
I think it's a comic book story.
I got the promotional squirt gun.
No, dude.
Like, they used to do this weird thing, like God Country did the same thing, where they did like hardcovers. If you had to buy them from like a local comic book store.
Yeah,
that's how these came out, which I thought was so.
4 Kids still has a hardcover that comes out. I stock it at my store regularly.
Which one?
4 Kids does?
4 Kids, yeah.
This was a comic book store exclusive. But
I gotta ask my shop then.
Okay, mine looks like that, so I just assumed it was the same hardcover.
That has a comic book store. Just saying.
It's true.
So perhaps she can hook you up.
Yeah, I think Poison Ivy is really strong every month. I think Birds of Prey is really strong every month. Like those are two that I really look forward to. Huh?
Couple more months and then that's over.
I know.
Yeah, man. Cody's the bearer of bad news.
At the same time, though, I like when books get an ending. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Makes for a perfect omnibus. You're right, Drew.
Well, it sucks when they're just like canceled and they can't put through an ending. But yes, I like books to have an actual ending.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm like I said at the beginning, you know what? I really look forward to the Tom King Wonder Woman. Like every month, I look forward to that book. I think that it's so. I think Tom King writes in such a literary style. I always say that it's if you mashed up Alan Moore and Kurt Vonnegut, like that's just how he writes. Yeah, I really enjoy it. I like that book a lot. I know that I'm not supposed to.
You
I
know
love
you're
how
not
much you love
supposed to? According to Book Talk, or why aren't you supposed to?
Comic Talk hates the Wonder Woman series.
They hate it so much because for a number of reasons. I mean, the biggest one I've seen is giving Wonder Woman a child is antithetical to the character. And I think that that's a very surface level reading, because it's clearly like my reading of it was that Wonder Woman's child is supposed to be the collaboration between immigration and and native born American experiences. And that's Trinity is the future of
Trinity.
They've
America.
got a good headline. Like that's a good clickbaity title. Like that's a good sentence. I'll give them that. I hear that.
And it's like, it was not supposed to be taken literally. She's a symbolic child, and the story, Tom King's Wonder Woman has been about immigration the entire time, and having her have a child with Steve Trevor is just this marriage of like immigrants that make America good, and the good parts of America that were born here, and putting them together. It's hope for the future. That's what Trinity is supposed to be. But no, everybody wants to be mad about it.
I didn't know people were mad. I have to tell Melanie, my wife,
so mad.
Loves Trinity. Like loves the character. I really like Ron B's New Gods too.
Also really good. Yeah.
Also a series that's
Artwork.
ending though, not canceled, but I think
It's only it's a maxi series.
Yeah.
I think it's 12 issues, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's funny though, in his newsletter he talks about he has like all these other arcs planned, but I don't know if we'll ever see them, but yeah.
I hope, Samantha, you got some good answers out of that, what people are enjoying, and now you can look forward to those.
I just want to point out mine as well.
What do you got?
Eddie Brock Carnage. Don't knock
Who's
it till you
writing
try
that?
it.
Okay, who's writing it?
Charles Soule.
Okay.
Oh, Charles
But
Soule. Okay.
I didn't think I would like it because I didn't care for the symbiotes, or I don't care for Carnage, but this just blew me away. So if you like Dexter, this is basically like Dexter, the TV show.
Wow, I didn't expect that from.
Yeah.
I'm telling people to try the first issue. The first issue is like Dexter, where I don't think it's a spoiler, but they're hunting serial killers. So.
Oh, because it's not Cletus Cassidy, it's Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
His Venom. People had a hard time getting into Al Ewing and Ron B's Venom, and I loved it. It had a little bit of a slow start, but once it got going, man, what the hell was even happening?
Carnage is like Looney Tunes on crack in a good way, as a comment you just got.
That's my buddy Max.
Badass.
We got to hang out in the Netherlands, man. We got to hang out in Amsterdam a couple weeks ago. Max and I. He took me to comic book stores there. And lots of comic book stores are carrying American comics, which is really nice to see, because I was expecting just a bunch of Euro albums, Euro comics. There's a lot of American comics and a lot of manga over there.
Some of the comic book shops in Europe are really good. There's like a really good one in Paris, and I went to one last year in somewhere in Poland, and it was really good. And they had a really good sale section. I picked up like some epics for like $10 US.
Oh wow! What did I buy? I went to Brussels, which it was a sin not to buy something Tintin or Smurfs. So I was like, I'll buy a little Smurf figure, and I'll leave it at that, because everything was cover price, and I was like, oh man, I gotta fly back. I don't know if I can get this, but I was so jealous of some of those collections they had for like Black Sad. Like they have these big
Ooh.
giant Black Sad collections over there, and I love the
Yeah,
Dark
I've
Horse
seen
stuff.
those.
But my gosh, I was so jealous of those Euro albums that come out.
Black Sad is a series that I've never read, but like everything I've seen about it is just like telling me that I will love it.
Mhm.
I just need to.
But you don't like Joy. We've been over this, yeah.
Isn't it really sad?
but
It's
really good.
it's
Sad's
It's
in
like-
the name.
it's a crime noir that just happens to feature anthropomorphic animals, kind of like the way that Beneath the Trees and what was the book that Cody showed earlier?
Escape.
Yeah, it's excellent, man. It's an excellent series. I love it. I think it's phenomenal. It's one of my favorite crime series.
It looks like something that would be like so far up my alley that I just need to.
Oh yeah, you would love it. Dark Horse released a thick trade paperback of the first 4 albums. That one you can still find. That one's still in print. The hardcovers go out of print quick. I'm hoping once the next volume is out, they'll do a big collection again of that stuff. It's excellent. I love that book so much, and the translations are great. Yes, Brussels is nuts. Like they have a Tintin museum, and it was close, of course, the day that I went. And I would have loved to have picked up Blueberry. I think we got 4 collections of Blueberry here in America. We need more. I don't know what's going on with that license. Mobius, I think Dark Horse owns like some of it. Humanoids owns another part of Mobius, and nobody's bringing Blueberry over. And that's definitely one of my most wanted collections to come over to America. But I think I have kept you all a lot longer than I anticipated. I'm so sorry. I thought this was going to go on for a couple of hours. I think I told Samantha, I'm like, just block out a couple of hours. She'll be fine.
I looked at how long one of your last ones was, and I was like, oh, it's an hour. Yeah, it's okay if I don't get food yet. So,
well, I had such a good conversation with you all, and it was really interesting to hear all these different opinions and takes on comics. And I think we part of the reason I also do this is to kind of give me an idea of what people are currently reading too, what people are enjoying. And at the end of the year, I usually have like a call with some retailers so I can let the publishers know what, people are liking, what people are asking for. And it kind of helps make that connection between the publishers and fans. So I love talking to people about just what is working. See, like today I found out that for some reason, Marvel Unlimited doesn't do same day release. You have to wait 3 months.
Help us out, Omar, please, dude.
Okay,
You'd
I'll
be
ask.
so legendary, dude, if you fix that, dude. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, because I don't keep up with it.
Didn't Global Comics just announce that they're going to be having Marvel Comics on the app? And I think some of them are going to have same day release.
When they announce that, it's a little bit tricky because on Global Comics, they have the unlimited read digital as much as you want stuff, but then they also have the buy it for $4 or whatever digital version. So I don't know if the Marvel is free on that free track or if they're saying, on Wednesday you can buy it, but it's still digital.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because right now I buy some new releases. Like I've got to buy them on Amazon and then they get added to the Kindle app.
Oh, okay. Immediately.
So I don't know. Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to thank you all for showing up, and thank you everybody that was watching and went all 3 hours with us. Smash that like button and go and check out these people's wonderful channels and TikToks. And before we leave, Tessa, kick it off. Where can people find you?
You can find me everywhere under Tessa is a Nerd. They're right here. On Instagram, it's a period in between each one. I'm also on TikTok. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Blue Sky and Threads. And I'm also going to throw out, in case he doesn't himself, that you should also check out Drew's comics. Go to Cody. That way.
I hope he does. If not, Cody's got him.
Yeah. Tell him to check out the game. Tell him to check out the game.
Yeah, my thing is the game. Yeah. Check out the game.
Cody, where can people find you, buddy?
So just Cody Collects all over. On Wednesdays, I post New Comic Book Day. That's the haul. It also includes the comic book reviews for the week prior. And then this week, I talked about the fact that DC's canceling Green Arrow and Birds of Prey. I just yap about it for like 10 minutes. I'm so heated, dude. And we also talk about, I got the stack here. All of my October reads, I got the Hellboy monster size.
Oh hell yeah, baby!
So we're
You'll
gonna try to
work
get
those
through.
arms out. You're gonna work those arms out, dude.
We're gonna try to get through
Wow,
this
it's so
in the month
big.
of October. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah.
Linz, what about you? Where can people find you?
So people can find me at Lean Soapbox on all platforms.
And that's TikTok, YouTube, Instagram,
Instagram, yeah.
MySpace. What do people use these days? I don't even know. There we go. Thank you so much, James. Batmantha, my buddy from New Zealand. Where can people find you?
Just Batmantha on TikTok. That's pretty much the only place where I talk comic books. And yeah.
I'm interested in this travel stuff though. I didn't even know that was like a
Yeah, I
something you
used to
did.
do
That's pretty
like
cool.
travel content creation for brands. And so that's on Instagram at OMG Samantha.
Very cool.
That was your name for a while, wasn't it? OMG Samantha.
Well, that's my Instagram name. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure it was the same Samantha that I've been talking to. Got it. Drew, what about you, dude?
so.
Video game, comic books under your belt. What are these things?
You know,
Music?
you can find me at Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky. Blue Sky is where I tend to talk like mostly just about like my own comic stuff, which there's not a whole lot going on there. So there's not a lot to update, but yeah, just drewxdeficit everywhere. I got a Tumblr, still use that every now and again. You know, I got bands, they got music out, so you can go listen to those too.
What are your band's names?
I sing in two bands. One is called Like Heaven, and the other one is called Good Grief. They're both just like fast, stupid punk bands. So
Fast, stupid punk bands.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Do you have a record out for the other one, like a physical one?
no.
Okay, just making sure I wasn't behind.
Like Heaven put out a record. All of the songs were named after Sandman characters, and then we had to change them last minute because it was going to press, and then all that stuff came out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was a copyright thing. I was like,
no, just yeah. But yeah, so I write about comics in that band.
You know, probably a safe bet would be to name them after Jack Kirby's Fourth World characters.
That'd be a cool idea. Black Rider would be a great name for a song.
Just saying. And I am the Uncanny Omar. I am here every day. There's videos coming out. My upcoming collected editions for the month of October comes out tomorrow. I'll be doing a live stream at 11 a.m. like I do every Saturday. And Sunday are my top 10 picks plus other videos. And I've got some interviews lined up next week. But that's it, everybody. Hit that like button on the way out. Check out these wonderful folks and their content. If you're on TikTok, Instagram, Tumblr, Live Journal,
Vampire Fruits.
Yeah, those places, forums,
Club
whatever.
Penguin.
Get my
Thank you all so much. Have a great day, everybody. We are out of here.